Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foul Ball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope that you're doing well. I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you very much. This is the MFer Cocktail Lounge. 70s has got his beer. So do I.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Grab a drink.
Slanjevar.
Slanjevar, Nostrovia, Salud,
Bottoms up.
Chin Chin, all that good shit. Welcome, one and all. This is the MFer Cocktail Lounge. It's the not after show to the FNT wonderful show where we have a drink, have a cigar, chill, shoot the shit, get a little angry media ranting off our chest. Ooh, I'm kind of semi-transparent.
A little angry.
A little angry, a lot. Yeah. How's it going, gentlemen?
Yeah,
Not
pretty
bad.
good. Just got out for a real beer tonight with real people in a real bar.
With not through a screen.
It was amazing. I didn't know you could do such things.
Well, I hope you wore your mask. I hope that you were super safe.
I was thinking of wearing a mask, but not one of those ones. But actually, speaking of masks, I did meet our in the chat on the community. Lots of you may know Canadian Spider-Man. We met up for the first time in the flesh.
In the
And
flesh.
it was fabulous. I even have a picture if anyone's interested. But I
If
don't know
this,
they are.
if she or she is, okay with you sharing,
Well,
it's fine with
I'm
me.
pretty sure it was a he. I'm pretty sure he was a he. But
Well,
you
it
never
depends
know
on how
these
you
days.
identify. All right,
I
let's
don't know.
Let's say hi to
It sounds like you're
Canadian.
assuming.
There we
I
go.
did assume. It's
Canadian Spider-Man.
Canadian Spider-Man.
in the
It's the
flesh.
smoke from the fires in the background because this place is coated in smoke from wildfires. But that
Hmm.
didn't stop us because we're tough Canadians.
Jed thinks I can't see him. I can see you, Jed. I could see you. I know.
Yep.
I just didn't want to interrupt that 70s rock fan. But since you insisted, welcome to the show, Jed.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't. see
No,
me.
Jed, you're not welcome to the show.
I see you.
But yeah, that's the first person I think I've met physically from what we would call our community here on YouTube. So that was nice. Good
First
meetup.
person I met was Jake D. That was the first person I met in the flesh.
Yeah.
Then Nick Weiser,
Good man.
Man of War, 665 Neighbor of the Beast, Eric K.
Mhm.
Met them all kind of in succession in
Yeah.
Vegas. Then Red Shirt here in
Oh,
Tejas.
nice.
Yeah.
It is good to meet people at last in the flesh. And Canadian Spider-Man and I are planning a CanCon. I think we might go for a physical meet of Canadians as we're not allowed out of our People's Republic of Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
We may do our own thing. So
I was gonna meet up with Paulie Latino Slant when I was in LA, but it just didn't work out. You know, it was too tense at the time. He invited me
Yeah.
to do some martial arts with him, which I would have gladly done, but I didn't
Mm.
have the opportunity. But
do you do that kind of stuff, mate? Or you?
I do. Yeah, I mess around with it. Not all the time, but you know, I do. I have a pretty relatively consistent boxing regimen that I try to maintain, just to keep, I don't know, the skill and the discipline up. There's a lot of room for improvement, though. Lots of.
With us,
There's
we can say
always
that.
room for improvement.
Yeah, we could all say that about a lot of things.
Yeah.
At least you're trying.
I'm trying.
You're trying.
Doing my best.
And
Oh,
like
wait.
just like Jed, he's very trying.
Oh, whatever.
That's funny.
We were
Did you
talking
see what
about
they're
you.
naming Washington now? The Washington team?
No, what they come up
Picked
with?
a name.
The Washington.
The Defenders
Yeah,
No, the-
it's some ridiculous
or
name.
something like that. The Crusaders or the
The
Defenders. or
pantyhose
something.
sniffers.
The Warriors, the social justice warriors.
Warriors.
That'd be a little on the nose.
The Washington bankrupts would probably be a good term.
Yeah,
for the
right.
future.
The crooks. Right?
Yeah, maybe Kevin should move there
sports.
then, huh?
The Guadrians, that's the Indians.
The Washington Liars or something.
Yeah.
I don't see. It's not trending on Twitter. I would think
Here,
it would
yeah,
be.
it's because everybody shut it down and they don't give a
I have
fuck.
to say that
It
if-
just
if-
popped up. just so you
if
know.
one was to consider progressive white liberals as the true racists who wish to erase every other race from the public square, they're doing a damn fine job of it.
I know.
You know, they've got
Can't
rid of
argue with
all.
you there.
They're getting rid of everything that's that they don't like in the guise of pretending to protect it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
well done.
Well, real quick, just say hello to everyone who's here. Hi, Sentient Dildo. Good to see you. Pat S. Finally joined us. Hi, Pat S. He told me he would pop in, and he did. Thank you, Mr. Dragon. Hello, crew. Hello to you. Lovely to have you. And that's the end of that list. But good to see you.
Well, F&T's still on, so.
Yeah, never mind the quality, feel the width.
Well, people are saying hi, Red Shirt. Well, we should also say hi to Red Shirt. Hi, Red Shirt.
We got Manowar in the chat.
They're dribbling in.
Nice. Yeah, they'll get here.
Yeah, it's just Doomcock's on.
We're competing with the mighty Doomcock.
Doomcock and
You always do every
quite the
week.
competition. Does he go this late? I guess he does.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he does.
Oh, he goes very late. Yeah.
Well, I love and respect that man, so I'm all good with it.
Indeed.
Yo, I go on Sunday. Do you know how many people I go up against? It's ridiculous.
I wonder how many people are live streaming on YouTube right now. I wonder what the number is.
Dozens, at least.
Dozens?
I go
Gotta
up,
be. I
I
would think
go
it'd be
up against
thousands.
some heavy hitters, and people still come to our channel. I'm
Well-
shocked at that.
Even the people we all love and know and love. So FNT, Wes Moody, Doomcock, Rageaholic, Tipster, they're all on right now.
All those guys are on right now.
Yeah, but none of them are us, of course.
That's
We are
true, of
us.
course. None of them are the MFer Cocktail Lounge.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. This is the place to be on a Friday night.
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah, brother!
Certainly is, buddy. Certainly is.
It's 11 here.
We start quiet and we build up.
That's right. That's what we do. That's what we do. I know Vigilante is going to join us soon, so I would like to hold off on the major topic, which is the the She-Man.
I thought you were talking. Oh, you got to talk about He-Man or the Superman, Black Superman thing.
Oh, well,
there a
that's more just
Superman thing?
rumor at this point, right?
No, they said it's going to be an HBO series.
Yeah, but they didn't say what it's going to be about. Just that he's involved.
Is he still going to be a man?
Mhm.
That's
I
a
mean,
start.
What does that even mean anymore?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Who defines that?
Standard.
The Olympics, you know.
Sure. What is this Olympics that only a couple of people have mentioned? Is that something that's happening or going on, or
Yeah.
What is
I
it?
haven't even watched it. I was just like,
who cares?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Indeed.
I was actually just discussing with Mrs. Rockvan today that is there really even need a future for women's sport? If men are allowed now to compete in women's sport, which they are, then why don't they just? And women are equal. Apparently, women are the equals of men. Well, why have we got women's sport? Why not just
Well,
have sport? That's it.
You did hear
Well, that will be
they
that will
wanted-
be for
getting there.
trans women.
Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Don't call it. You could call them anything you want, but if it's one competition, anyone can enter.
Yeah,
That's true equality.
But where are mediocre male athletes going to compete otherwise?
Mhm.
Well,
I
maybe
honestly
we'll have-
don't know. It's like, it's great that women's sports exist, but it's like, especially now, it's like, not only do you have a less interesting product to most of the consumers, which is just like, female athletes. It's like, it's not just because like people are horrible sexist. It's because, a woman being a tremendous athlete is not really like, that doesn't elevate her social status. Like a man being a tremendous athlete is like, wow, like guys like him, girls want to bang him. It's like, he comes with like a prestige. A great female athlete, it's like, okay, I mean, it's kind of interesting, but I don't want to fuck her any more or less if she can shoot a basketball. It just doesn't matter. But it's like, it's fine that it exists. Great that it exists. But now it's like you have the less interesting product, the thing that doesn't really add to the cachet or the prestige of a woman. And then they're also going to like make it super woke. It's like, I don't know who the fuck's watching this shit.
I don't think anyone is. But, I think Redshirt's got a good point. We get rid of women's sport, we have men's sport, and less good men's sport.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Sentient Dildo asks if I've seen women's volleyball. Now, he brings up a good point because of all the female sports, women's volleyball does put a good product on the field. I'll be completely honest. It's the women who are on the volleyball teams I tend to really appreciate.
Is pole dancing an Olympic sport?
Not yet.
It should be.
Not
It
yet.
should be. Spreading
But-
for the gods.
But the point is, Sentient Dodo, the girls who are on that court whether they can play volleyball well or not will not affect how much I want to bang them.
No.
I
Which
don't
I'm sure is their primary concern.
That is inversely proportional to the square inches covered by their bathing suits.
I
I'm
don't care
sure
if she can spike it or if she can't get off the ground.
If
Sure,
she
got
can
an ass
spike
like
it,
that,
that's a
I'm
good
fine.
thing, you know?
Who cares?
I'm sure the fact that you want to bang them is the principal thing driving their sporting career forward.
That's the crowning achievement.
He's Matt watching.
They really
Right,
made
go.
it. Yeah, they really made it. Does that tiny YouTuber watch me and enjoy me?
Yeah. But I'm serious. I do not see the need in this progressive age for women's sport. There's no such thing as men and women, according to progressives. They're equal anyway. So why is there a need for two categories? Just have sport. 100 meters. Anyone can enter. What's the point of having?
Because they'd get smoked. They'd get
It doesn't matter.
annihilated.
They don't exist. That's not good. They need to try harder. They need to do better.
That's right.
They need to
Try
do
harder.
better.
Evolve, bitches.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the progressives want. No difference. So why should there be two separate categories?
Well, because that's the thing. It's not. There's so many more. There's so many little segments in the progressive and the woke left people. It's not just one unified. They're never gonna stumble their brother as what's his name, Kurt Mexer says, in the cults. They're never gonna do that. But they don't all agree, really. They just can't say the thing that makes them look like they're not part of the group. So behind the scenes, they'll be yeah, I mean, there should totally be a female volleyball league or whatever, but they can never say that because it would be what are you, transphobic? No, of course not transphobic. I don't even know transphobic.
Yeah. So yes, we have to let the 7'6" man play in our high school women's basketball team.
Well, I do think the greatest hypocrisy is the fact that there's a woman this year in the Olympics who can't play because she passed she didn't pass a drug test and has a positive marijuana, smoked weed once, but literally a guy can be in the female competition and
If she'd
lift
had a
weights.
12-inch penis, she would have been fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, brother! I'm
And
gonna dominate this sport. Let's go! From the South Park.
Yeah,
sketch.
for the South Park sketch, but it's
Yeah.
but it's the amount of estrogen, the amount of testosterone and stuff like that. It's just how is that not it's so unbelievably hypocritical, but it just goes down the woke lines where you're there's nothing to take seriously here. This is all the farce. This is all a joke.
I've often wondered why they bother checking for marijuana use, because it's not exactly a performance-enhancing drug. I mean,
It's on the list of banned substances, and that's all
you're
that matters.
Just about to do, the 400 meters, and you smoke a big doobie. Yeah, that's really going to help you win.
Right. Honestly, any illegal substance. It's if I were the Russian team, I'd be I really hope that the entire American team tests positive for heroin, because then we got a great chance of winning. You know what I mean? They suck. So I don't know. It doesn't really help. But that's the thing that's so bullshit about the Olympics. It's it's supposed to represent the greatest of the country or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's just such. I don't know. It's such nonsense. The whole thing with that girl who turned her back on the flag, with a hammer throwing chick. Hi, New Bomb Turk. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Welcome.
We should send her over to Cuba, then she can really find out how oppressed she is. So,
Well, my issue is really not that. I do think she has the right to say whatever she wants, but the thing is, I know that wouldn't extend to everybody.
No, it wouldn't.
I know the second that they said something someone was pro-Trump, they'd want them off the team. If they were
exactly,
the election was rigged,
it's only one way.
Yeah, they would want them off the team. So it's you don't really believe in free speech. You just believe in free speech because in this instance, you kind of agree with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, big difference. Yeah.
That's the hypocrisy that bugs me.
Yeah, people like her don't believe in free speech. They believe in her speech.
Yes.
Correct.
Right. But that's the point with everything on the left.
It's the woke left. It's not
Yeah,
I do believe in the left on some things. We did live under the Bush administration for a while, and there's definitely there used to be something very punk rock about being on the left that was genuine, because there was this kind of overall crusty, too conservative, cellophane on everything. Like, oh, you couldn't show too much sex, and you can't curse too much, and you can't be too honest. And it was just like, ugh.
Wait a
like,
minute, Matt. Who was it that wanted warning labels for lyrics on record albums?
The name Gore's
I know she was,
Gore,
but it was, but still, it's a conservative value. It's a more of a right wing value. Like at least it was back then. Yeah, it used to be. That's what I'm just saying. I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying like. I agree with you. The power base, wherever the power base is.
I agree with you that being on the left was punk rock in the 60s when I was 5 in 1968. And it was the Vietnam War protests and it was free speech at Berkeley. And that was the punk rock left. The problem is they grew up, got married, had kids, got jobs in the university and became the man.
The government. Yeah.
And then the government, and they became the man. But they still think they're speaking truth to power when they're the power.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like Kevin, where he changed too? So, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like it's a whole thing where the irony that the media, like all of entertainment and the government are all saying the same thing, and you think, and all the major corporations, and you think that's the punk rock side to think. That's the punk rock belief structure.
I can give you the prime
example.
Agree
with AT&T. To agree with Disney
and Coke and Disney. Yeah,
wow.
How's example, you've got Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama with a podcast and now possibly a book called Renegades. How in any universe are those two people renegades against anything?
Well, as much as I'd like to trash them, it's like you got to give Obama some credit just for being the first black president. Just because he's the first, I mean, you got to give him some credit.
But he's not
a
renegade in any sense of the word. Neither is multi-zillionaire Bruce Springsteen. They are not renegades. They are the machine. And
they are now.
That's the hypocrisy that and they're not, as you say, it's not the left. It's certainly not the left as we knew it. They're certainly not liberals or anything like classic liberals. They rage for the machine, as Redshirt said. They all got the government jobs, the university jobs, and they are exactly the opposite of what they think they are or pretend they are.
And they lack the self-awareness to self-observe, to just be like, yeah, all right, I guess I'm not really punk, but I still totally believe it.
Yeah, well, at the bottom level, maybe, but I think the people at the top know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they successfully made it cool to be on the left, no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the problem, is that it's hard to gauge these things because of, and again, I don't think this problem that we're speaking to would be as big as it is without online echo chambers, without social media and the ability of bots and corporations to control a narrative and make it appear that certain things are bigger issues or certain crowds are larger than they are. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. It's not, I don't know if it's smoke and mirrors as much as it's like a perceived greater consensus than actually exists.
Right.
Absolutely. Manufactured consensus is the term, I think. Yeah. But there's no way that anyone that's on the same side as Disney, Coke, and Gillette is in any way left-wing or anti-establishment.
Right.
Absolutely. By definition, they cannot be. They are corporate to the core, and they are the establishment. So they don't see that, though. They don't see it that way. I like Sentient Dildo's comments about the Sex
My favorite punk song.
Conservatism in the UK.
I was in an argument about this last week on Friday Night Tights in the chat, and you used the term corporate and establishment as though they were the same thing. They're not. The reason I say they're not is because the establishment is woke, and they have driven corporations to become so. Corporations used to actually understand they had a fiduciary responsibility to make money for their shareholders.
But when you say the establishment is woke, who are you referring to?
I'm referring to academia. I'm referring to the leadership of the statist party, which is, by the way, not Democrats or Republicans. There is a statist party in Washington. They like government to be bigger and bigger. There are members of both supposed parties there. The bottom line is that they've embraced the far left narrative, the politicians, because it can bring them power.
Yeah, because they can control power. Then,
Well, I mean, let's call it what it is. It's neo-Marxism.
Yes.
Yeah. But they are what Eisenhower would have called the military-industrial establishment. They've widened their net a little bit because they include industries that he didn't envisage occurring, such as high tech, and it now includes academia and entertainment. But that's what it is. It's that establishment, and it's global.
Eisenhower and Kennedy both gave speeches about it.
Hold on just one second. I just wanted to include our favorite neo-Marxist into this this conversation, Mr. Vigilante Williamson.
I don't know if neo-Marxism actually describes my
no?
leanings.
Did I get that wrong?
Nah. I'm more
neon-Marxist, perhaps.
I apologize.
Neon, I don't know. More libertarian leaning. Yeah. What happened?
Hey, VW, give the crowd what they want. VW.
You haven't introduced yourself yet.
Yeah, I know. Because you.
This guy with the mask. What's your name?
Shit. Vigilante wins here on the 25th episode of the motherfucker Cocktail Lounge. And I see Cleveland rename their team. I have an Indians hat. I'm glad I got it when I got it. I need to get. I don't know.
Cleveland, is that what we're talking about? So Cleveland renamed their team.
Yes.
Oh, that's so. What'd they call it? That should have been.
They went from Indians to Guardians.
The Guardians.
Okay.
I thought
Guardians
it was
of the Galaxy.
Washington. I didn't see it was Cleveland.
No, Washington
they're still the
football team.
They're still the Washington football team. They haven't had any bright ideas.
The Braves said no, though.
Newborn Turks nailed it. They should call them the Steamers, as in the steam off the shite.
Yeah,
right.
They should.
So they folded, huh?
Yeah, they folded, I think, last year, and then they just been going with the C logo. And
but if you Google it, the Cleveland Indians still comes up.
Yeah, because they haven't fixed it yet.
I think if you Google the Washington Redskins, the football team will still come up.
No. I mean, it says the Cleveland Indians are an American professional baseball team based in Cleveland, Ohio. Like, it's still their Twitter.
Yeah, it's still even the MLB.
It'll take time to change.
You can still buy Uncle Ben with Uncle Ben's picture on it at the moment. It'll take a while.
Oh man!
Oh, so they literally just did it.
Yes, this was today. They said they announced 8 hours ago. They announced it.
So what are they guarding? If they're the Guardians,
clearly.
Yeah, what are
the
they
progressive
guarding?
Establishment? They're guarding the progressive establishment.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did go to an Indians game when they were still the Indians, as Vidge said, and I got a hat.
Let me see if you can get a fitter if they're already like $700. I probably need a backup.
Yeah, I don't know. This is tad disturbing.
You can't get one with Chief Wahoo. We can only get
at least the Montreal Expos had the good grace to go out of business and not change their name.
Well, what the hell is an expo?
It's the Montreal baseball team.
I know that, but I mean, what is it like?
Well, they were called Expo because they had a big exposition in Montreal in '67.
Yeah,
and it was like Montreal. It was Exposition. It was called. So I think it came out of that.
That's pretty gay.
Just about most
we
things
had a
in
big
Montreal.
Exposition.
Most things in Montreal.
We explained baseball.
Yeah,
it was Canadian, so it was pretty gay.
Yeah, that's pretty weak.
They started naming those things that in the Victorian era in the 1800s.
Well, no, not the Expos, because it was the Senators first. It was the
okay. I'm sorry. You're
which is a terrible name too. Awful.
Yes.
Well, it's the
an incompetent, fucking disorganized group of losers whose only skill is deception. So they go to Montreal, become the Expos, and then they go back to Washington. Now they're the Nationals. What is with this organization? They have the worst names in the history of sports.
Well, there's always the Houston Texans, which is terrible. Like the Houston. Who named yourself after the city?
Well, they're so proud here. They're so proud of being Texans, though.
And I like Texas. I mean, move to Texas.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Cleveland Indians hat. Maybe I should stop wearing mine on stream. The price has already gone up. Like you can't get. There's already ones for 150 is like the lowest you can go.
Oh, I've got.
By next.
I gotta stop wearing it.
1,000 something. So.
Sheesh.
Though that's
beg to differ
hilarious.
with newborn.
I've been waiting for them to like change the Cowboys. Like I've been waiting for that one.
There's no social justice contingent
Well,
for
no.
the Cowboys.
White leaning team names are allowed. That's why the Fighting Irish is cool. Vikings, which technically were mixed, but that's neither here nor there. They're allowed.
Cowboys is not racial. There's nothing racial about the Cowboys.
No. Yeah. So let's really get into it. I would like to actually have this conversation. Is the Indians name, is that name problematic?
No.
Yes.
Why do you say no? That 70s rock fan.
Well, they could be from the Indian subcontinent.
Is that
I mean,
what
they
you
could be
think
from
that
the
they meant?
Indian
Yeah.
subcontinent. So.
Do you believe that that's what they were going for?
I don't believe it's problematic, and I think although they've managed to dredge a couple of people up, I think the vast majority of Native Americans didn't see it as problematic either. They've managed to dig up a few, of course, that do see it that way, but I don't see.
If you paid me enough money, I'd find it problematic too.
Well, exactly. But as I was saying earlier,
No, but I'm honestly asking the question. I'm not trying. This isn't a setup. I'm not trying to. This isn't a joke. I'm just curious. Like, is there anything to the argument that it's a little weird that you name your team after a race of people?
No, it's no more problematic than calling a team the Highlanders
Mm-hmm.
from the Highlands of Scotland, or
Okay. Here's my return question: Is the Notre Dame Fighting
No.
Irish problematic?
no.
Why?
But hold on, Rock fan. I'm going to push back on that because the Highlanders, they're a specific clan, right?
Well, no, that's a general area, and a group of a clan would be
So
McDonald,
it would
or
have to
Campbell,
be-
or Douglas, or
So it would be like the Plains Indians or something like that. You'd have to be because it would be just the Scots.
I think
and that would
Lenny
be
actually raises
That's
a good point with
The Fighting Irish are they
Yeah.
problematic? That'd be
There
my.
you go.
If the Fighting Irish are problematic, then
Well-
okay. So if we can get rid of them, then okay.
Maybe because
Well,
it's
they're getting rid of
because there's a
ginger, so they might.
nationality. Maybe because there's a nationality attached to the Irish. It's not.
Because
It's
I
not-
mean,
it's
it's
not
a
as
negative
Irish.
connotation. You're saying they go around fighting everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not making the argument. I'm trying to like just really get to the bottom of this. Is there really anything about this that's a little gray?
Not really,
Well-
because it's another mark of history. Like people should be educated enough to look at that, look at the time at which it happened, and understand what it is, and then move forward from there.
I mean, I'm not
Instead of
saying I
trying to
disagree.
erase history, and
Here-
learn from it, and then go on. Don't try to erase it, because we know
Here's
certain
another
people
thing.
in World War II did that. Try to do that.
Well, not only that, I can't remember the exact wording, and I don't know if it was for the Indians or the Washington football team, but there was some wording along the lines of, well, we've heard from people in the community, like referring to Indian people, but it was like, we're still going to do it anyway, almost.
Yeah,
They
didn't
worded
care,
it.
VW.
They didn't
white
care
progressive,
that
white progressive liberals decided they were going to do it anyway.
yes.
Well, here's the
I'm
thing
shocked.
that I heard an interesting pushback on it. And it was from Jim Norton, the comedian. What he said, like the reason why he was for it was because the NFL can't bend over fast enough, as he put it, to take special interest dick because of anytime there's like any kind of a race issue, it's like, oh, we are so sorry. This player is immediately suspended. They're having sensitivity training, and like, they have all like they can't fall on their face fast enough to like appease any kind of like social justice sort of cause. And so it's like, well, if that's the case, then shouldn't it be universal? Shouldn't it be like the entire league? Like,
No,
No, I don't think they
No.
should. But see, what you're saying is, well, somebody else is shooting themselves in the foot. Shouldn't everyone shoot themselves in the foot? I would say no.
they're
I mean,
bowing to
the-
the mob. Shouldn't these people bow to the mob?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just more like it just seems like you're selective on who you'll enforce it on.
Well, they are though.
They are.
That's what the establishment is
For
selecting.
one, this is a baseball team that we're talking about.
No,
Not
I know,
football.
but I mean, I guess the principles. Are the same.
Loosely speaking, they're a baseball team. Yeah,
Huh.
not a very good one, but
That's like saying the
Well,
Detroit
what I
Lions
think,
are a
but I mean, the
football team.
principal weight down is more like
I heard
so does
I
that mean the Cleveland Browns are problematic too now? Are the
No,
Browns
because that's someone's
problematic?
name. No, so it's no, but I
Is
mean,
it?
like,
But
yeah,
well, that's what it was based off. But listen, by the logic which they're doing things, don't think they couldn't be spun. I mean, they knocked down. Not to get all political, it started off political from what I heard last year. When they were knocking down statues, they knocked down statues of like black people who served in the Civil War and shit. They were just knocking down statues to knock down statues. So logic doesn't always have to matter in these things.
Well,
what
the
I mean,
guy
the
named
principle,
Brown,
it's
was
more
he
the
white?
principle. I'm just saying the principle. It's like, could we have the New York Blacks? Would that be a team with I'm honestly posing the question.
No, you couldn't.
Like, could you have the Los Angeles
I just giggled
Mexicans?
when you said it. No, you couldn't do that.
So, okay, so then why can you have the Cleveland Indians?
Because
That's
it's
a better
already been
argument.
done. Because it happened however long ago, decades before any of us were born.
That's not a good argument.
So Matt, earlier on, I think I answered this earlier on from my point of view. That what these people are doing is erasing any positive reference to other cultures in the mass of culture. Getting rid of Uncle Ben, getting rid of Aunt Jemima, getting rid of the Redskins, getting rid of the Indians. Soon they will have purged everything that isn't progressive, white, liberal accepted. That's not a good thing, I don't think. What's wrong if the Indians are to celebrate, and maybe they weren't, to celebrate Native American culture, what would be wrong with that?
I'm just trying to talk. I'm just saying on the principle of that it's a race. Like, there's no equivalent to that. It's the only group that can be.
I would consider the Fighting Irish an equivalent. I really would. I really would. I don't see
teams called the Vikings. I mean, that's a
okay.
Depends on how you do it.
I'll ask a historic.
Wait, no, but to push back, not push back, to just offer a counterpoint to the Fighting Irish thing. Does it matter that there was essentially a genocide here for the Native Americans compared to the Irish?
There was a genocide in Ireland.
Not this country. It
was done by many of the same people.
What did Abraham Lincoln go over there and fucking murder Irish? No,
but the same
talking about
Jackson. But to push back on that. So what you're saying is, what if people from Ireland say, you know what, what if some Ireland wokies, I'm sure there are wokies out there, say, you know what, we think the Fighting Irish is problematic. They should get rid of it?
I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, is there relevancy to that argument? Because it's like, look, the Irish were persecuted here. They were hanged in great numbers when they first came in. So like, is that, I don't know. I'm not making the argument one way or the other. I think it's ridiculous.
Point of view.
Like the more light you shine on this shit, I think the more damage it does. But I'm like, is there a point to the fact that the Cleveland Indians shouldn't be the Cleveland Indians? Like, is there any validity to it? Like, I just want to examine it.
I mean,
look, there's the fact that, for one, Indians is a misnomer. Like, we only called them Indians because when we met them, we thought that they were from India. That we didn't realize that we were on a whole new fucking continent.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when the first ships arrived, like
we're not
Columbus,
Spanish,
etc., they thought they'd reached India.
Some of us are.
Are you Spanish?
I'm from Louisiana, so there's probably some in there.
That'd be French, though.
No, there was a little Spaniards in Louisiana.
It's a hurricane.
And by the way, as far as I've been able to find out, the American Indian tribes didn't consider themselves a race. The settlers did. Mm-hmm. They were tribes.
Hundreds of different tribes.
Which is why.
Yeah. So does that
state Seminoles? What the Seminole tribe likes that name?
Yeah, I was going to say, does that support the argument to get rid of the Cleveland Indians because it's a generalization twice that's wrong? A, that they're not Indians, and B, they don't even identify as the same people.
I would turn it around and
call the Cleveland Indians the tribe, though, too.
Yeah, the question is, who does it affect, and what harm does it do? Why should it be changed? What harm is it doing?
That's a good question.
That's the way I would turn the
who's
question
mad
around.
About this? That's another thing. Like I said,
what actual harm is it doing?
Who's actually upset? And where do you stop? Where do you stop? Because the argument can start to be made that you're getting rid of, like 70 said, Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima's family were not happy
No,
to have
they
their, patriarch and matriarch wiped off.
beloved role
Not
models.
at all.
Yeah,
Beloved
that's
role
model.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and they were just like, I think both of them were like cooks.
Sentient Dildo says, "Oh, Matt, still looking for logic and all this noise. So cute." I'm not doing that. I know. I'm not saying they're coming from a logical place. I'm saying, is there any logic in the argument,
I mean,
despite themselves?
Well,
No, I would say no. There's no logic in that argument. That argument is entirely an emotional one.
yeah.
Could
So,
we make one though? Like that's what I was just kind of saying.
well,
Like,
you could make an argument for anything if you were determined enough.
Exactly.
I mean, of course you could.
because if I'm thinking of it like a little, like I don't want to sound like them, but it does sound a tad. It sounds a tad stale. You know what I mean? To call a team the Indians, it seems a little dated. Like it does seem a bit stale. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to make the argument. I wouldn't give a shit. Who cares? No one's getting hurt. And I think it's a better point that 70s Rocks fan. But honestly, like a little bit, you're like,
I would say you've incidentally made a good point about being dated. Perhaps it's not the name of the team that's dated. Perhaps it's the sport that's dated. I mean, this is 2021. Baseball has endured a long time, but as we've seen recently, professional sports are suffering somewhat of a decline. Is it a last century? Indeed, is it a 2-century-old model? And maybe people are just not that bothered anymore. We'll see.
Well,
but
Gary outrates baseball random baseball games in the middle of the summer. Gary gets more views on them, and so is the Drinker, so is Mahler, so is any of the top YouTubers we're thinking of. They get more views on a lot of their videos than baseball does right now.
maybe
You know what else was dated? Was all of the statues that they tore down last summer.
You know, I was there. You know,
some of those
I
were
was
actually growing moss.
You know, I was there in Lee Park in Dallas when they took the Robert E. Lee statue down. I was actually there when they did that, standing watching.
But wait down. Those statues aren't part of pop culture. The Cleveland Indians are. Like,
no, but they're as big a part of history, and that's what's being erased.
But I'm not saying you should erase it. I'm not saying the Cleveland Indians should be wiped from the history books. But if they want to move on and change their name, I don't know if that's like the worst thing I've ever heard of.
Well, if you think of them as a company or a corporation,
will be wiped from the history books.
I mean, yeah, I'm not, but that's the line. That would be my line. If they want to change their name, I'm not saying I'm for it, but I understand it. I don't think it's the worst thing I ever heard of.
I mean, these teams are franchises, so they're corporate, and corporations change their name a lot. So
true, and I'm thinking of another sports team. The Washington Bullets became the Wizards for you don't want to be the Washington Bullets. Yeah. So that was a, and it's kind of the same energy. Yeah, it wasn't a woke reason, but it's just corporate. We don't want smoke. We just want to play baseball or play our sport.
And just way too many of our players get shot, so we need to just get rid of that.
I'm just thinking. I don't know about the play. Well, there was a lot.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't
know about shot.
It was a cheap joke.
I would like to go back to the Islington girl's comment about. She says, "I'm buffering, but what's this about indentured servitude?" So, Islington girl, I don't know about that, but could you make me a sandwich, please?
And you know what? Here's the interesting part about I'm making the Fighting Irish. Technically, I'm part Native American and Irish and Dominican. I'm a mutt actually. So like but I mean I don't know if I'm not. It's not like I'm in touch with the culture.
Well, all that matters is what you identify as.
Yeah, welcome to the
vigilante.
I identify as a vigilante. There you go. I'm
a mutt too, so.
That's a good one.
I like the Islington girl's comment.
Yeah.
What? Which one?
If you're Irish, you could start a fight in an empty room.
That is so true. That is so true.
I don't know what you're talking about. I disagree. Finite Finite San Antonio tipped me $2. Thank you very much, my good man. First super chat of the night, much appreciated. And he says, "Is the intent disrespectful?" And that's an interesting question.
That is a good question.
Can't determine intent though.
There's an argument to be made that it's actually more racist to get rid of the team.
Kind of like the Land O'Lakes lady, like getting rid of her.
That's kind of what I was trying to get at. I think it's more racist to get rid of these things than to keep them, and that's what these establishment progressive white liberals are. At their core, they're racist.
I totally agree. Get rid
that.
of Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, and everything else. That did more harm and was more racist.
Absolutely, it did.
Letting it go, because that's erasing history right there. And the brands were pissed when they had to go change them. They even got
Shouldn't
mad
have
at
did it.
Klondike bars, for fuck's sakes.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The Eskimos.
You're
Oh,
erasing
then I guess
positive.
it's-
You're erasing positive, beloved models from
Yeah.
society. Uncle Ben, Aunt Jemima. People love those brands. They loved the story behind them. They loved the people that
Yeah.
created that. And you're erasing that from history to replace with something bland and corporate. I think
And
that's,
that's
desperately wrong.
Another thing, it's not like they replaced them like respectful. The green
I
screen.
know. I'm
Matt's
gonna-
fading away.
Yeah.
Somebody hit the Thanos.
Oh my
snap on him.
God.
What did you do? Matt?
But no,
Yeah.
so it's not like so. Basically, what they're saying is, yeah, guys in there. They got rid of Uncle Ben, Aunt Jemima, but Colonel Sanders. That's my point. They keep keeping these white spokespeople, so they're literally eliminating all non-white spokes characters and spokespeople that they can possibly can. So that's why I mean, like, there's an argument the other way, like, hey, you're just. Maybe it would have been better if you would have got maybe another alternative. Get a local tribe to Ohio. I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Michigan. Get a local tribe. Get them involved and see if they want to change. If you change your name to a different tribe and still respect the Native Americans, be more respectful. That's a different thing. But you didn't. You just said, "Oh, we're going to get rid of it and we're going to ignore it." And now, what do we call these guys? They're the Guardians. So basically, they're going to be generic and white. So you're whitewashing them, basically.
Yes, that's what my point is. They're whitewashing everything in the name of the opposite, and I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, it would have been cool if they found whatever tribe, like their name for warrior, and called them that. That would be tight. Or you call them the Apache. No one ever says we should get rid of the Apache helicopter or the Comanche helicopter. It's never.
Well, hey, we're not changing the name of Manhattan.
Right.
That's based off of Native American. We're not changing Canada, which I know it was kind of like a miss.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Well, we should change the name of Canada.
Too.
Hey,
I will say something too. When I was younger, I had a black nanny, and she used to read me Uncle Remus tales. I used to love them. So.
I don't know what that is. That sounds,
problematic.
Oh wait, no,
wait
but
a minute.
okay, I will say this. If
I think we
all
should
know
boot this
Lorena,
racist.
right? We all know Lorena, right?
You had a black man and Uncle Remus. Did you grow up in the 1950s? What happened? Are you a character song in the South?
I thought Manhattan was named after the cocktail.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is Lorena. We all know Lorena. Her grand used to read it, and she still has it. She's shown it up on, and we all love Lorena. Lorena's awesome. I'm just saying I got read that when I was little, and it wasn't problematic for me or any of my nannies or anything else.
It's going to be problematic for you now.
Oh, whatever.
We treated our servants really well.
No, she was really good. She was family.
We only beat them twice a day.
She was family. She wasn't a servant. She was family.
She didn't get paid. She had to sleep outside, but we treated her. She was family.
Jesus, man.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just making a joke. That was just like, that's what they would say. I'd be like,
I'm trying to think of the character from Django Unchained that Leonardo played. I can't think of him offhand.
Candy.
Was that his name?
Because remember his ranch was Candyland.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Well, I did get another super duper chat from Man of War 665, neighbor of the beast. Hell, thank you, brother, for $6.65. Very on brand. Very on brand. Also, my first super chatter ever. And he writes the very poignant message, words, etc.
Eloquent.
Yes, quite.
I will say this. It was a family friend that needed a job, and her family was hurting too, and they were like family to us. So my mom gave her a job to take care of me when I was little. So
Chad, I'm just obviously just fucking with you. I'm sure.
I don't think treating people like family is necessarily a good thing. I mean, a lot of families hate each other.
Isn't that how Rosario Dawson ended up in all that trouble?
I had a family member pull a gun on me. That's a good point, 70s rock.
Right? Yeah, I mean, who says families love each other?
Yeah, good point.
Well, some families
what a monster you people are.
Well, some families are assholes. Not every single family is gonna get along. That's true. Everybody, the perfect family is out there is full of shit. You all fight one another. We even fight our friends and everybody else at some point. But then the difference is when the chips are down and everything, you actually see who's there at your side. You know what I'm saying?
The Islington girl, sorry, she's making sandwiches. Does anyone else have any catering requests?
Well, mine was very nice. Thank you, Islington girl. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get
Thank
a
you.
BLT. That's just make sure you toast the bread.
Second the BLT order.
Specific.
Yeah.
Hello,
You
Draco.
gotta toast the
by
bread,
way.
but everything else cool. Yeah, hell, Draco.
Hell.
Bill, gentlemen, I hope you've been having a
Draco.
fine evening so far.
Yeah, it's been
Good.
kind of all over the place. We did politics to start, and then we were talking about the
Oh,
Cleveland Indians
dangerous.
changing their name. And then
Controversial.
Jed talked to us about the slaves that he owned, and
Oh.
What do you mean that he owns?
I was a kid. Oh my god.
Listen, man, you're the one whose real
The
life
triggering
is.
is real.
well,
That's
it's interesting that in this whole conversation, no one's gotten on me for culture appropriating the Native Americans with this haircut.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be canceled.
Fucking
Change my name.
Instaphone.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Actually, it's coming in pretty good, Matt. I
Yeah.
remember
Thanks,
when you
man.
shaved.
That's what
it.
she
I
said.
thought you ripped it off of Robert De Niro, but that was
Where do you think he got it?
yeah.
I know.
Oh, I don't go back that far. History started then.
It started in the 70s. That's
Yeah.
when it began. Hence the channel
There
name.
was no history before then.
There was not. The Islington girl.
Millennial.
Sorry, the Islington girl sent me a $1.49 Canadian super sticker. Thank you very much. And it's a sandwich. It's a delicious sandwich.
Delish.
Man,
Thank you.
Video, I hope.
Speaking of sandwiches, this totally changed the subject because I don't want to talk about slavery anymore, Jed. But and this is probably stereotypical to talk about this.
Yeah.
But no, to keep stereotypes alive, I went to try to get a Popeyes chicken sandwich. The fucking prices went up like $4 on that motherfucker. Fuck
Oh,
that.
hell yeah, dude.
I think I'm
Fuck
going to
you,
get
government.
priced into getting in shape.
Welcome to
Shout
Canada.
out to Biden. And another
Shout out to Biden.
That's because the price of corn is going up, so the price of everything is going up.
Oh,
yeah,
and
everything's
bro,
going up, dude.
the price of good. I work in I work kind of in shipping. The price of goods are going to explode,
Mhm. Yeah.
because the shipping costs are getting so astronomical.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be insane, and that's on top of the stagflation that's coming. So get
Mhm.
ready. That fight for 15 is gonna be a lot easier when the fucking Happy Meal is like $30.
Yeah. Islington girl's going to make one sandwich, and we're going to have to share it.
Oh, that's
Hell
a
yeah.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
Fucking
cut it
bread.
up in small squares, and each
We're all gonna be
person gets
communists.
a little small square.
That's
We'll
that's
have to get the
plan.
government to divide it equitably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't wait to get
Except,
those bread lines.
except we'll have sandwich privilege, and we won't get as much.
No, it'll be the opposite because then
Mhm.
the leftists are going to run everything, and we're going to have to wait even longer because we've had all the privilege before.
Exactly.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait for that. I don't know. I haven't.
The Western civilization is in a decline and is bound to fall soon. So the only question is the asteroid going to hit us first,
No,
or
we've
the
already
Oh,
fallen.
America's the
Pan-Pacific
only
plate
place.
going to collapse? Or
I mean, we're
Yeah.
watching like a sped up fall of Rome, basically.
yes.
Yep.
Well, I can't remember who it was, but there was a French philosopher did map out the lifetime of civilizations, and they typically last 400 to 500 years maximum. And if you consider Western civilizations to start from, let's say, the Reformation era, well, we're overdue a collapse. So so that's on a happy note.
Wow, thanks for that.
Why do you have to
sunny
collapse
fucking
on
comment.
us?
70s? Yeah. That
Fuck,
70s.
man. Like,
Well,
why
I mean,
can't
I'm
you
older than
let
you
me
guys.
go?
I'll get out of
More
it in time. Don't
depressing?
worry.
Yeah, we're just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Somebody
let's
around
show
here
I
them
love
wanted
how
to
talking about
be the
apocalyptic
power.
scenarios. I'm a big
big a
fan of
douchebag
them.
fucking Kevin Smith is now. you know?
Yeah. Let's talk about how much He-Man
But
sucks.
that's part of the
Yeah.
decline. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more
Something else
symptom.
shitty I wanted to talk about that wasn't.
Oh,
He-Man.
you're one of those.
We can talk
people.
about He-Man
Wait, what did you
Something
want to?
He-Man.
More
Yeah,
meaningful.
what did you
I
want to
can't
talk about,
remember.
BW?
Who's
because
He-Man?
of plants. I can't fucking remember, but it was something else shitty that happened. Who else did something stupid today that wasn't He-Man?
Pretty much everybody.
The World Economic Forum coming
I'm
out.
gonna give
and
a shout
creating
out and-
We're
solutions.
watching
Yeah.
the fall of Western civilization. A whole lot of people are doing bad things right now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
The
It
great
was,
thing is
it was pop culture related.
we
I'm
do
just
get to
gonna
Was
go
it
watch it
with
live.
Was
Oh.
it the Superman thing? Have anything to do
Oh
with the
no!
Superman?
I know what it was. It wasn't Superman. It was the mom. The mom thing. Did
Oh,
you guys hear the opening sentence of that shit?
What
did she say?
Dude, VW,
Vigilante.
I couldn't believe it when I saw
MOM,
that.
Amelia Clark's comic.
Amelia Clark.
Oh, that shit.
Armpit hair.
Oh, the
Superhero.
comic
We
book?
covered it like 3 or 4 times on our
You've
show.
seen it? You've seen it?
It
I didn't
wraps
see it.
around her whole arm and leg and everything, dude. It's creepy as fuck.
It has the like Illuminati mask cover. So like, okay, the first.
Slow down.
All right, I'll slow down.
Someone, do we have an article? Do we have like an outlet for this information?
We're
'Cause
not that organized.
I'm just getting so much is just getting thrown at me. I'm like,
What do you
"Oh,
think we are?
You're the
FNT?
producer, Matt. Come on.
Give me a
What the fuck?
second. Give me a second. I'll try to pull up. I wish I
right.
could. Hopefully, I can pull up that first page
all right,
and
you try
read
to
out.
All right, you try to do that. I'm gonna welcome Comics Division. Hi, Comics.
Hey,
Comics Division.
how's everyone
Hey,
doing?
comics.
How's it
The
going?
Friday
buddy?
night.
Hey, comics. What's up, brother?
Dude, it's going pretty good, man. I doing a little experiment here. I ordered a Google Pixel phone, which I'll be loading Calyx OS, which is a operating system that's supposed to be all about the privacy. So we'll see how this works out.
All right. Keep us posted. Keep us updated.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
there
you
you
know,
go, Matt.
What was your driver behind getting that particular phone? I'm just curious because I'm looking for a new phone.
The operating system supports it.
Yeah. Oh, so you wanted the app, so that phone is the one you went for.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we know
it's
Apple
supported.
doesn't support it,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, Calyx, I'm not terribly familiar with it. I actually learned about it last night, but there's some other stuff like other operating systems out there for like Android phones that are very specific to, privacy and whatnot. And this one is like that. It will allow you to de-Google your phone and still be able to get apps and whatnot. So considering I'm an iPhone user, I'm, in the past I've been very much in the the Apple ecosystem, but since I don't use my Apple Watch anymore because I replaced it with a regular watch because I don't want it to spy on my health, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I slowly have been realizing I don't need an iPhone anymore, mainly because I haven't used iTunes in forever. That was like one of my big reasons for keeping it is because of music.
Yeah.
And since I've been using Spotify and whatnot, I was like, well, I'm going to try this out because I actually value my privacy. And my wife constantly laughs at me when I talk about privacy and, the whole thing with, well, you still have your spying device, which is, my iPhone.
Well,
So-
we were all listening to you and your wife talking about that last night.
I know. I saw a post on YouTube. So
Yeah. That was a really weird conversation, though, last night, though. So.
anyway,
Well,
I was a
a lot of
dedicated
yelling and
BlackBerry
crying,
user.
I suspect.
Yeah.
well,
BlackBerry,
You talking
the
about the
best
show
phone ever.
or your conversation? 'Cause
No,
that's what the show's
I'm
been.
just making shit up.
No, because literally it's just been yelling and crying for like 40 minutes or 50 minutes. Jesus. That's all we've been doing.
well, I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna clap and applause and shout at the heavens. The new reporter life form sent me a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you very much. And it says, thank you, Draco. And it says coming soon. And I think that's a perfect segue into. Did you find it, Vigilante?
So all I can find is another video, which is a screenshot, and I'm trying to cue it up.
Okay.
And
So
So this is the
I have
opening
to read
line.
the-
Wait,
The
I
opening
think
line of
I
the
can
comic.
find it. Just
Okay,
a
I
minute.
got it. Hold on. Can
I
you-
can get the whole book. Just a
He's
second.
got it.
So comics.
Well,
Oh, we've
We're-
got
we're-
replicants in
all
the
right.
chat. I hate to say it, but anyway, carry on.
I'm not going
Well,
to share audio.
We have a
We're talking.
replicant.
We are talking about the mom comic book, the Mother of Madness, Amelia Clark's like creepy, weird
Mountain
comic
of Mumbo.
book.
Isn't this like supposed to be about like period blood or something?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well-
her period gives her superpowers.
Powers.
But you got
Yeah.
to
Her
hear
powers
about
flow from the period.
Maya Kuipar. I'm sharing the screen. Shout out to Thinking Critical. That's where this video's from.
So that's
So
This is it.
West
This is it,
it's the
okay.
First page.
Opening panel.
Opening panel. First thing she says, "My name is Maya Kuiper. I'm 29 years old, a single mom, a high school dropout,
Oh.
chemical engineer, part-time sex worker, Thai food junkie,
Oh my
and
God.
biological freak of nature." That's
Overachiever.
the opening shot.
Overachiever.
Just honestly, Vigilante, I know that you're a single man, much as I am. Imagine meeting that girl in the real world. You would run for your fucking life. You're a
met
what?
her before.
You're a what? You're a high school drop. How are you a chemical engineer and a high school dropout?
I know. I mean,
chemical engineer and a sex worker.
And it's
She really likes chemical engineering.
Oh my god!
I mean, I'm no respecter of academia, but I want my chemical engineers to have some kind of qualifications. You know,
the amount of baggage on this girl.
You can drop out, get a GED, go to college. That is technically
that is true.
But then you wouldn't be a high school dropout because, like, if you call yourself a high school dropout, that implies you never went any further. That was the end of your journey.
It's typically that's how it is. You're a high school dropout. I got my GED. I went to college, but
you don't.
They should be a little more
because
specific.
Part-time sex worker. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Well, because you said part-time sex worker, I think of chemical engineering as like meth production, but she looks pretty good for a meth user.
That's what Finite Essay says.
You should keep reading because it gets so much worse.
But I just right out the gate, if I met this person, I'd be like, running for my life.
If
like
you couldn't run away because she'd get you with the armpit hair. There's no escape.
What's that dress made out of?
She's got sharp, pointy teeth.
Pointy teeth.
I think it's pretty funny because I saw this. I didn't know what comic this was from, but I saw somebody post it. He's like, he talks about writing comics like on Sundays. He's like, everything I talk about, this is what you should not do.
Oh my god, she likes Ruth Bader Ginsburg speeches.
I'm just impressed that you guys used a Monty Python and the Holy Grail quote there with the sharp pointy teeth.
Oh yeah.
Run away! Run away!
How many words are on this fucking single panel?
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
That's what I noticed.
In 2049, yet they're talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Martha Stewart.
I mean, call me old-fashioned, but most of the good comics of yesteryear had maybe one speech bubble with a few words in them to tell you the story.
That does seem like a lot of words. It's also like it's a lot of words and not a particularly interesting panel. Like she's at a cocktail party. It's like,
well, it's a comic. It should be showing us these things, not telling us.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's she gonna?
This is standing in a room and talking. Instead of standing in a corridor.
So this is modern comics, folks. It's tell, don't, show.
Yeah, I heard you say
look like this.
Right.
But that makes no sense. It's comic books. It's visual.
Right. I think
all of these word balloons are a waste of time.
Yeah.
Just use your art, use your skill to show us what's going on with a couple of words here and there.
Yeah, no, I think that's what comics is highlighting by saying that, because it's like the axiom is the literal opposite, and that's for all storytelling, most of all a visual one.
Yeah, and any kind of visual medium you need to show and not tell.
It's boring.
Obviously, you can't do that with a book, but
like the Loki TV show. It's the same thing, sitting around and talking about crap when you could actually be doing some really cool action scenes. Go to where they're talking about. Don't talk about it.
Right.
And you can show and not tell. Show and not tell in writing if you write well enough. But here's what everyone I think is missing. This comic is doing exactly as it's intended. This comic's job is not to sell comics. It's not a product. It's a talk piece. So when Amelia Clark's at her party, she can show all her feminist friends her feminist comic that she didn't really write because her name's just on it, and she can get feminist validation. That's the entire point of this comic.
100%.
We can make fun of it in comic, but it's not like a real. This is not a product. This is a vanity piece for a really famous person on a show that nobody likes anymore.
Yeah,
so we just lost somebody.
But VW, when only 5,000 people are buying that product, what's the point?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It is the piece.
Yeah, they don't care.
The validation is the point, and and it will provide all the validation she wants.
Is anyone else disturbed by the fact it says March 2049 and the server still has a mask on?
That's a very good point.
Yeah,
I didn't peep that.
No, you mentioned it.
I didn't know it was 2049, but
that's.
I won't be
We're
wearing
talking-
a mask in 2049. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
27, 28 years in the future, and the servers are still got a mask on. Like, what is that implying? Especially with
I'm
this
almost
Illuminati
surprised it
ass
isn't
fucking
a-
cover. I don't know.
His eyes
you
wide
guys-
shut shit.
Yeah, have you guys seen like the cover of this
No,
thing?
what's the cover look like?
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
Illuminati
asked
that's
for it.
hideous.
Yeah, I think I do
Oh my
remember
God.
seeing that. That is pretty terrible.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
it's
it's
also
that mom cover.
disturbing. Like, there's a lot of like eye imagery here. There's like the half moon, and like this whole sewing buttons on the eye thing. Like, and in my YouTube research is very like in line with all that stuff. Like, apparently the movie Coraline is supposed to have a lot of that imagery, and like this comic book's doing the exact same thing. It's also one single eye, which is like these are all lines with that.
There's a
kinda-
symbol for you. Yeah, the hand of the.
There's a lot of symbology going
Yeah.
on here.
yeah, it's a little
Illuminati confirmed.
yeah.
And Islington Girl gave us sandwich money a little bit ago.
Oh, love the
So-
Islington girl.
And hi, guys. How's it going tonight? Good to see
Oh
you.
yeah, favorite
Lord
Egyptian
Thoth.
Canadian god. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while to stream already.
Oh yeah.
Lord. Thoth.
I don't know.
Draco.
I don't know if he has other panels. Let me look.
Well, the
We can just
Islington
go talk
girl,
about it.
that's what I say. The Islington girl did give me $3.33. Thank you so much. And she asks, quite concerned, why do we always end up talking about slavery?
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, can't we just be misogynist? We don't have to
I
be
can't wait to
racist. too.
cancel you guys later on.
Hey, Matt, go look in chat what I just put in there in private chat.
Okay, dokie.
Cancellation incoming.
All right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, is this the whole? Is this the whole thing?
I knew where to go.
Oh, nice. Jed managed to get the whole
If you
thing.
guys can do it. I don't want to play that game.
You think it's a
I
little
was impressed
risky?
by the fact that the art museum
That
she was in was the Clapton Art Museum, because Eric Clapton's high on my list of good guys right now.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Eric's the
I don't know if you guys
man.
heard about that.
Yeah, I
Did you
wouldn't. I
see-
wouldn't share it,
Okay.
but we can definitely look at it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need a
So-
black body.
This
The
is
eyes wide
bad.
shut.
Oh, really? Oh,
Just so you have some reference, Matt. That's the reason why I gave it to you. So
holy moly.
Much appreciated. I'm scanning the panels. I mean, so far, this is superhero comic. I'm 5 pages in. She's still at this goddamn cocktail
Oh.
party.
Jesus.
What the fuck?
Ugh.
Lots
there's
of-
no, there's
is
not
it-
even any naked. No boobs are out in it. I mean, what's the point? There's no.
Oh, ew. Oh, God.
uh-huh.
I gotta share this. I don't care.
One
this
banner
is
should be
Sharing
okay.
a panel is probably fine, but not sharing like the entire book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
no,
what
I won't
we-
do that,
that's
but
what we
this
do over
is-
our next channel. Yeah.
this is just disgusting. You guys this is gross.
This
All
is
right.
gross.
Just-
So I
man.
guess I don't know what happened. Someone said
Matt,
something.
remember to do what I said though. Okay.
What's that?
hide
read
the
in
link.
private. Yeah.
Oh
hide the
yeah,
link.
it's just the
Stay
image.
high.
It's just the image. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the tab. But I know. So I guess someone said something misogynistic, and this sent her into a super powered rage. And then this is the panel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I just
can you
got to that
see? Can you see this? This is her armpit hair.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the picture I was talking about. It goes all the way up her arm.
That is so fucking gross.
Modern day feminism, folks.
Creative bankruptcy at its
Yep.
peak.
Ugh.
I'm like 10 panels ahead of that, and that's like the only thing remotely close to an action scene. Everything else is just talking. Oh, hey, we got masks on a train.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. In 30 years. Oof.
man.
I was telling you,
As
the
if I
fall
needed-
of Western civilization is here.
There won't be a Western civilization by 2049.
I'm not that cynical, only because like I just think that there's a lot of people who are invested in preserving it. You know, there's a lot of people who do give a shit. I think they're making a really strong push to make shit like this the norm, to make, He-Man, She-Man, and do all this stuff. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of intelligent people who are willing to fight for it, man. I don't know if I buy this doom and gloom.
You know what I saw the other night?
Dude, there's shit I cover recently, which scares the piss out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the ESG scores.
Oh,
Are you familiar with
Rifle.
what that is?
In like the China thing.
Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, you have in China, you have the social credit system, obviously being pushed by the government. That's something they can't do here, but they can achieve that through private companies. So there's something called ESG, which is environmental cultural governance, and it is a rating that is being applied to businesses.
Yeah.
And you can Google ESG and find stuff about it. A lot of venture capital companies are pushing this these days. Well, the next step is applying that to people. And we will have our own individual ESG scores, which will greatly impact our lives. It will basically, and again, yeah, ESG is fucked. I completely agree, Cynthia Dildo. Mm-hmm. But depending on worst case scenario is that you probably will not be able to find a job without a good ESG score, or probably buy from certain companies because they only want to do business with people who have high ESG scores, because that will impact the business's ESG score. But it'll affect your ability to get a loan, probably rent a house, because you won't be able to buy one, because in the future you will own nothing. If they implement any kind of like credit system, as in like money credits, I'm sure it will impact that as well. And again, that's pure speculation on my part. But if this gets through, folks, we are fucked.
Apple's been designing a lot of the infrastructure for that on the back end of their systems for years and just not telling anybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason why I do not like Apple.
That I was not aware of Apple doing stuff like that, but yeah.
They have their own name for it.
A decade or more. Yeah.
It's like the user trust score or something like that.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, social credit's coming, folks. Get ready for it.
Well, what do we do? How do we combat it?
Yeah, we have to do something else.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. I really don't know. The only thing I could say is move out to the country, buy some land, learn how to farm. That's worst case scenario. Maybe a parallel economy develops that we could.
I can bake bread.
Yeah.
Does that help?
The girl can make sandwiches, so there we go.
Yeah.
No, all right, seriously,
we'll start our own agrarian community.
Well, we might end up with a lot of communes.
Matt, every little bit helps. Honestly,
the commies win again.
How much food is grown in New York City? How much supplies are generated by New York City or any major city? Doesn't someone have to truck it there? Doesn't someone have to produce it? Doesn't someone have to do that? How are you going to get those people if you have this ESG system? There's a worker shortage now because of the communism that the country's already established. So you can't even keep people hired.
That's where a lot of this automation stuff comes in.
You got to get it up.
It's part of the reason why they, you're looking at drone delivery. You're looking at automating the trucking system. I don't know, dude. It's frightening. It's probably still several years away before
you start to see an impact.
Yeah, you start seeing an impact, but you will see that you have a ESG score probably very soon.
We probably already have them for us.
No, it's out there. There's actually companies where you can go and basically figure out what it is, but anything you do will impact that score, including the people you vote for. That's the thing that's frightening. Because voting is supposed to be anonymous.
It is.
It sounds unconstitutional.
It is. But again, it's not being pushed by the government, so it's fine because it's a private company.
Not really private companies. I wish people would stop saying that.
I know. I'm being sarcastic when I say that.
I know that. I'm not necessarily responding to you like directly like this. I'm just talking about this sarcasm.
This has been
yeah, I see that now. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
This has been a just depressing ass stream so far, man.
It's a full moon. That's why. I knew it's a full moon. Yeah, it is a full moon.
How about we have some titties and bears? So
well, I get it. It's depressing and black pill, but it's stuff you need to know.
Wait, hold on. One at a time.
I was saying, it's like I know that this is negative and black and rather black pilly, but it's stuff that people need to be aware of so they can do something about it.
No, you're right. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you know what? Independent says F me because I don't pay for their service, so I can read the first 4 lines.
Well, the headline is really what you want to see anyway.
Well, the headlines are bullshit. See, Wake Down, that's your problem. You're buying into this nonsense. They're misleading you with explosive headlines. I say fake news. No, I'm just
I was able to look at the article. Why can't you?
I don't know. Oh, because I have an ad blocker.
Man, I was just gonna come looking at something about Apple, fuck Apple. And I'm thinking, I don't have an iPhone, but I do have an iPad, and I'm sure they judge me poorly with all the porn I watch. So, so why are you into this weird shit?
It keeps you passive.
What's this hentai stuff that he?
I'm not a hentai guy. I'm almost anti. It's like it's not. I don't know. I just can't. Animated hot girls are hot, but it's not like my thing.
It's too weird to jerk off to. You're like, I don't even know. This isn't even a person. Like, it's just weird.
I can't jerk off to.
She's the one that wants to jerk off to Brie.
At least she's like a flesh and blood woman, and I don't want to. Jed.
I could fuck Brie, but jerk off to that's
crossing a line.
Like, because it's harder. Like, you got to be really hot for me to jerk off and like finish. This is way too much information. But honestly, it's probably still more entertaining than we're all going to FEMA camp.
Yeah,
so I mean,
better than the end of the world. Jesus.
So, it could be social credit score in FEMA camps or jerking off. You guys decide. Chat
It could be a bit of both.
Could be a bit of both. Maybe
no jerking off in the FEMA camp.
Well, look, I think there's someone here who could spread a little light, whose beautiful flowing locks may help us feel better about the future.
Is it the Culture Casino?
It is the Culture Casino. Hello.
Oh, here I thought you were talking about me, Matt, and my
jeans. I was hoping for Culture. Damn it.
Hey, Culture.
Well, I tried to reach out to Bree for you, but she wasn't available this evening. So
that's because she's in my bedroom.
Sorry.
You know what? I feel like Matt, like, legit could get Brie, like, legitimately.
Oh,
I don't think she's that hard of a.
No. I mean, yeah, and she definitely doesn't have a lot of assets, So she'd probably be all right.
I think regular ass dudes fucking Brie Larson right now.
Yeah,
regular as fuck.
She's woke though. I'd have to like.
They
know.
know. The more base you are, the more you want her in the kitchen, the more she'll want your dick inside her.
Oh, for sure.
That's just how it works.
Guys, you actually think she's with a man? Come on now.
No, I can't agree with that one.
She's fucking scissoring.
This is how it happens.
Confirmed.
She wants. Look.
Only a girl could love.
She is desperate for the D, kids. Desperate.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure she's desperate for the C.
I don't know. Look, you know what? And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as I can watch, I don't really care. But,
see, Culture, we're on the same wavelength.
I mean, there's something to be said, as the guy said tonight, for 80s gay. I'm a big fan of the 80s gay.
80. Oh, that was what Mahler said.
Yeah, good times in the 80s.
That was a crazy show today, by the way.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Like
it was
Mahler and then Chrissy, and then I didn't know who the guy at the end.
Adam Krigler?
He used to be on Timcast.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who of us here were high school kids in the 80s?
Moi?
That was
right?
90s.
I was a kid in the 80s. So
late 70s.
I was born.
Which part of the
I was born in
80s?
the 80s.
Doesn't matter. I said the 80s.
Some of us are really, really, really.
Mm-hmm.
So Culture 70s. Who else? Just a red shirt.
I was
late 70s.
Born or high school? Wait, I missed out. So yeah,
high school.
I was in high school in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in high school in the 80s.
Graduated in 89.
Hey, cool. I'm jealous of the people who graduated in 69. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah, that would have been a good year.
I know, right?
It was the summer of 69.
Yeah.
I knew Draco would start singing.
Good Canadian kid, Brian Adams.
Do I sound okay, guys? This is a brand new
You
microphone.
sound good.
Okay.
Yes, you sound good.
Is it new?
You are.
This is brand new.
Sexy.
I wanted to say something from the other night. There was a great soccer match that happened between the U.S. and Sweden. And before the match started, 3/4 of the ladies' team kneeled when the national anthem was played, and I just want to say that justice was done when Sweden beat them 3-0.
Indeed.
True.
I like that Lord Thoth is Canadian, and he's still like, fuck those bitches.
In Lord Thoth's defense, one of the most amazing videos I've ever seen was at the start of a hockey game in Canada. They had sung the Canadian anthem. A young woman came out to sing the Star Spangled Banner, and about 4 notes in, the speaker, the sound system failed. And there was dead silence with this faint voice trying to sing the song without a microphone, and the crowd picked it up and sang the rest of the song.
Yes, that's true. But you know, that's a little
American. That is like, that's
psychological warfare, is what that is.
Oh, that was awesome.
Man.
But it was very, very much so a Canadian thing to do. Absolutely, we would do that. Yeah, that's outstanding. I remember
what you didn't see afterwards that 10 seconds later after the puck drop, every player on the ice was fighting each other and kicking the shit out of each other.
Well, yeah, that's hockey.
But I was going to say, that's a hockey game, right?
It's not a hockey game unless somebody breaks someone's nose. I mean, come on.
You know what? That almost goes back into our conversation about the Indians. How come hockey is allowed to fight no other sport? Every other sport you fight, oh my God. Even though people used to love when basketball players used to fight all the time.
There are moves to take fighting out of the game, but so far they've not
entirely
entirely succeeded.
Put fighting back into other sports.
That's because we fight on the ice. You know, it's all part of the game, and then we go afterwards. We buy each other a beer, and that's the way it is. Like we don't hold it against each other. It's all part of the sport.
It could be because Canadians are so polite that they really legitimately
I live near
won't.
Canada. I feel that's kind of a myth. Sorry.
I'm sorry I have to break your nose right now.
I agree, VW.
It's kind of an exaggeration.
It's a very much an exaggeration, yes.
It's like Bigfoot.
But well, my point is, it used to be a part of every sport. Fighting was a part of sports as a thing.
I miss the malice in the palace. I think, when players go up into the stands and mix it up, that's quality.
Oh yeah,
bro. There's a basketball game in the 80s between the Sixers and the Celtics. Somebody goes into the stands. Not only do they not get suspended, they finish the fucking game. Wow. They go into the stands, beat a fan's ass. I don't even think they got sued because it was the 80s and everybody was just like, whatever.
Should have got a bonus for that.
I got kicked out. I just think, it's just a fight happened. And they just kept it moving. There was no mom saying, oh my God, no.
See, the Islington girl is the greatest person in the chat right now, because she said she thought the same way as me. That's just the way it is. She's the most intelligent woman I have ever seen in a chat.
What is she referring to? Oh, you're saying just anything. It doesn't matter. Not specific.
No. Oh, it doesn't matter, man. She agrees with me, so it's all good.
She's right almost all the time. But she's from Canada. That's easy fodder, bro.
It is. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
That's what I said. No, what I'm trying to say is, of course, she's going to agree with you. You guys are crazy polite. Except you fight on the hockey. On the hockey pitch. You guys call it the hockey pitch, right?
Yeah, that's what they call it. Wait, Vigilante says they're not polite. I want to hear that.
They're not polite.
Oh man, I have some stories, man. But
they have this weird. Okay, first off, this is not all Canadians. Not all.
Yeah, hashtag not all.
Hashtag not all. But there's definitely a segment of Canadians that have this weird obsession / superiority complex, right? Where they feel superior to Americans, especially Detroiter. They just, I don't know what it, maybe it's a specific thing about Detroit. Like, oh yeah, you get murdered in Detroit. But then they love America, and then they'll go to like, you get murdered. Listen, we were talking about the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland and New York.
You're talking about Torontonians. Yes. Toronto is not part of Canada. That's a separate country.
I was going to ask, was that people from Quebec?
There you go. Well,
that's even worse.
It's Ontario.
They think they're superior to everybody.
Is that the Texas of Canada?
Even though some French Canadians have come through, but no, it's just they have this thing. But then they
knockdown drag out with France.
especially when our money was like really in the crapper. Thanks, Bush. They used to come over, and then I worked in retail, and I had to deal with all these fucking Canadians, and they were just a headache to deal with. They were a fucking headache.
They must have been from Ontario.
Well, it's ironic.
Ontario.
It's ironic if they were from Windsor, looking down on anybody from Windsor.
Yeah,
I've
been over there, Krabby Joe's and shit.
I'm a Nova Scotia boy, so I'm very much so. I've got the Scottish blood, I've got the red hair, the easygoing attitude. Can drink anyone under the table. That's me, man. And I can't wait to meet that '70s rock fan because I'm sure we have lots of things to talk about.
Thoth, buddy, I was hanging out with Canadian Spider-Man tonight. We went for a beer.
Oh, cool.
No way! That's awesome. I caught
awesome.
a little bit of that on Doomcock's channel there when you were chatting about that.
Yeah,
but
I was hanging out. We're planning a physical meetup for the Canadian contingent. So
that would be awesome.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know. I mean, I know Matt shared this earlier, but this was me and him having a beer earlier.
Finite SA. Don't be at it, my son. I'll be over there. I can kick you in the ass.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh my God, my son! Don't be at it. I'll go over there, man. I'll do it.
And you know what? That's my local bar, and no one was wearing a mask, including the staff, and the waitresses were hot as usual. So
Stay punk, Canada.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So we were talking about planning something. Yeah.
Actually, that's not a bad idea because I know there's lots of people in the chat too that are Canadian. Lots of people in Gary's chat at the Nerdrotic side of things and Doomcock, and there's a lot of us Canadian stuff that I know. There's a lot of talk about like ClobbyCon. Clobbering Times is talking about doing
ClobbyCon,
and there's
is Clobby? Is he Canadian?
No, he's U.S., but they're talking about doing a little convention where they all get together and meet.
It's gonna be a couple years.
Number 2 is
Gary's doing his thing in Vegas this year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be
so
there.
maybe we should do that.
I'm gonna be
north
there.
of the border.
But a Canadian one, yeah. And there's a few. There's Rod Thunderheart, Raquel. Raquel Briggs.
Yeah, Raquel's awesome.
Oh yeah,
there's a
Raquel.
few of us, so we might get something going in the fall. We'll see.
Islington girl, yeah, that's right.
Islington girl would have to come.
I'm in Ottawa right now, so I'm pretty central.
Well, it'd have to be out west.
I knew you would say that.
We're thinking of the Rocky Mountains, Banff, maybe. Maybe the
Hey, now that's not a bad idea.
Chateau Fairmont at Lake Louise would be my personal choice. But there you go.
No, I'd stay
you guys
at the
gonna
post.
come to
Hotel, but
Vigilante
that's where
Con?
I honeymooned.
Vigilante Con would
I
be
will
good.
come to Vigilante Con. I will be in costume.
There we go.
Yeah.
She's going to be doing her Dream Girl outfit there, and she's been teasing us on Clobbering Times channel on Saturday night during the Star Trek stream there, 10 o'clock Central Time for anybody who loves Star Trek. Come and join us on Clobbering Times channel. But she's been talking about doing Long Live the Legion. She's been doing her Legion of Superheroes Dream Girl outfit, which if you Google it, everybody out there, it's an impressive costume. That's all I'm going to say. So it's great. There's a lot of Canadian fans on YouTube right now.
Yeah, well, it was great to meet up finally with somebody that I've chatted with in the chats for a long time, and to actually meet somebody from this community in person. It was fantastic.
So who is this that's gonna be dressing up like this? Fucking
you. We're talking about you,
Dream Girl.
Yeah, you are. Matt,
Raquel.
Raquel Briggs.
Raquel is
that
A.
is some
already,
outfit.
yeah, Raquel is A, already smoking, and B,
yes.
wearing that hokey smoke.
I don't know if I've ever seen Raquel. I've heard her.
Oh my!
I don't know. I don't know if I know this person. Is she the one? Does she wear Polly's merch? Is that who that is?
No.
She's
Okay.
over on the Global Geek Gang with us, and then is on Saturday night.
She used to be able to hang out with us for the Pegasus Actual podcast. She's awesome.
An incredibly intelligent woman, very educated, a teacher, professor. She's very eloquent. She's very well spoken. I can sit here for 15 minutes and just listen to her talk because she's very.
So much work on me without ever seeing an any.
Oh, what's that?
What was that?
Who's watching porn?
Yeah, that's right. It's like bow, bow, bow.
Somebody's watching prawn.
I think that she's a great part of our
From Chrome. Got any new toys?
Who is that? Is that you, Culture?
Sounds like
is that you, Culture?
Culture is playing Cyberpunk.
What? No.
Yeah, that does sound like Cyberpunk.
Yeah, somebody's playing Cyberpunk.
Anyway, she's a great part of the team.
What was very telling. What? No. That was
no. We can't have a
telling.
get-together without the Islington girl. She has to be there. So.
Yes, absolutely.
Raquel's a very good person with a good heart, too. So
she is.
Well, the Islington... Sorry, so the Islington girl says Canadians are pervasive. We're all over. In the vegetation, in the parking lot, in the pool, when it's only 70.
That's right.
We're everywhere. And actually, comics, I think this might be the first time we're on together. It's an honor to actually get a chance to talk to you.
We've been on together before, Thoth.
Have we really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah,
it's probably been a while, but I would say it's probably like the first time I was on Matt's channel.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I know that we get a chance to talk on Gary's stream on Friday Night Tight sometimes, but man, that chat just moves, so it's hard to actually.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you have to keep it in slow mode at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Even in slow mode, I've got to scroll it back up just to read more than one or two chats a second, or two. As it goes by, because they just rip by. It's hard to follow.
Even if half the people in the chat leave one comment in slow mode, that's 4,000 comments.
Yeah, and the trolls. The good thing is the trolls usually drop by usually at the beginning of the stream, and so during the middle of it and towards the end, it's always good because then we get an actual chance to chat with everybody in the chat, and I think that's the best part of Friday Night Tights, in my opinion, and actually most live streams is chatting with everybody in the chat, because everybody that's there is having fun. We're having a good time. We're listening to everybody on the panel. It's a great opportunity to just have some laughs and just to listen to everything that's going on, especially with all the pop culture stuff that's going on today. So we get a chance to laugh at that, laugh at each other, and have a good time. And that's the best part of Friday Night Tights, and then actually any live stream. I mean, Matt's live stream here on Friday nights is a blast because everybody in the chat is so awesome. We never have a problem with trolls.
Never. It's never come up.
The panel are usually a problem, but not the chat.
True.
We are not counting sentient dildo.
Yeah, that's true. We're not counting sentient dildo. But tonight's Friday
Night
Tights
hasn't he been banned yet? I mean, geez,
banned. He's a wrench.
He has too much of a good sense of humor. I don't know. Can we handle that?
He's a funny goddamn guy.
What was amazing?
Yes, he is.
What was amazing tonight?
Buzz.
8,700 people.
Fuck yeah!
I know.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts, man.
Yeah,
this is a great show too.
The record, yeah.
It was so entertaining. Like, I love when Chrissy came in and was like, and was just like, oh, a British accent. As just like, oh,
that was great.
I'm here every time.
I know. And the look on Az's face, he's just sitting there going,
oh, it was priceless.
I can't say anything. I just can't say anything.
Oh, and the other thing too, which made it so funny, is I didn't realize that Mahler was Welsh, which is
yes.
Yeah, I
did know that. That's why I was laughing.
Poor bugger.
Marvelous.
That was fucking pure gold.
It was.
Look you, boyo.
Both of them are funny guys too. Eh? It's just funny.
Very Welsh.
Chrissy is fantastic.
She is so funny, and I love that she's becoming like a regular. That she's just there all the time. I think that's terrific.
When she said, "Oh my God, I think it was too much cum," I was like, "What did you just say?"
Yeah, that must have been the night she was with Matt.
Yes, that's exactly what you heard.
Well, that and the joke she reprised that was in the an intro about a week ago. About that's something you eat before you blow up a. I'm like, yeah, and I actually typed in the chat. Chrissy Bear goes there again.
I think that really adds to Friday Night Tights too. Whenever you can get a female YouTuber on there who has a great sense of humor, who doesn't mind getting in there dirty with the guys and in more ways than ones, and can throw the punches and take them, and yet just throw the one-liners out.
This is how the world used to be before everyone became fucking offended about everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, and she fits in terrific. Like she's very funny and like can roll with the pop culture stuff, even if she's not like that savvy on it. Like she could still hang out and trade jabs with Ryan and all this stuff. It's just like it's so fun. It's such a weird thing that she's
God, but Ryan, man, he was making my ass laugh.
You know, when I go back to his original stuff too, and I used to see him a couple years ago, he is night and day over what he is today.
I don't know. I only knew him as the FNT misogynist.
He used to be a nice little lad until he got on to FNT.
Yeah, he grew leaps and bounds.
Hey,
and
hi everybody. I'm Ryan Kennel, and
exactly.
Hey everybody, I'm Ryan, and
now he's like,
fucking
women shouldn't even be on TV. They should just be there for us to fuck when we need them. Jesus, Ryan, take it easy.
That's right, yeah.
Women only have two jobs.
By the way, my mother's in the chat too.
Sandwiches.
Yeah.
What he does is remove his filter. That's what he does, and not enough of us do that. There's no way in the hell I'd remove mine. You guys would think very little of me if I were to remove all of my filters. It'd be bad.
I get in trouble because I remove
said
my
we don't
filter
think little of you already?
So.
That's a good point.
Wow.
No, we love.
How
we love you,
presumptuous do you think we have respect for him?
That's right.
But to be fair, I don't know that any of us think that much of any of us, including ourselves. To be honest,
I hate myself and everybody else.
Yeah,
But
I
wait
hate
a minute.
myself and I want to die.
Have you seen my hair?
Shout out to Nirvana.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly why I said that. Ironically, that song came out right before Kurt Cobain, self-deleted.
Yeah.
Illuminati confirmed, or
Allegedly self-deleted.
Look, I need to I have to redirect this conversation, gentlemen. We need to figure out a way to get Matt with Bree, and I think if he dyed his mohawk pink, that would be the first step.
No. This is how we get Matt with Bree legitimately. Everybody sub to Matt, blow up Culture Crime Fighters. No relation to Culture Casino. Culture Crime Fighters, which is on iTunes and Spotify.
Wait a minute.
We're already
Wait a minute. VW, come on now.
Yes.
Share. Come on.
It's not that we're not going to share. He's just talking about his very specific strategy. I see where he's going with this.
The bigger that podcast
Not associated
is,
with
the more
Culture Casino.
mainstream the podcast Culture Crime Fighters is. She'll
naturally will pick up the scent.
She'll slide in his DM. She's like, this guy keeps talking about me. Look what happened with Gina Carano and Drunk.
Right?
Wait a minute.
And so
eventually,
like, yo, this guy has like 80,000, 100,000 subs. This mainstream this not mainstream, but you know what I mean? With like this edgy podcast that everybody likes. I'm sliding in the DMs.
She's just gonna. Oh, everyone's doing the thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think this is something that should be more into. Is if we make Matt into some sort of marginalized individual, maybe Matt can grow his hair out.
Oh, and I can transition. Should I transition?
Marginal, let's face it.
You guys are gonna get him in the friend zone. Woke girls want straight white patriarchal males. That's what they want more than.
That's not what Hollywood executives.
No.
Wait a minute, Matt. You know how to cook.
What women say. What is wrong with you guys? Woke women. What is AOC with? What is even Meghan Markle?
I have no idea.
Prince of England. How do you get white?
Dude. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Harry's easier than this.
Dude.
He's also a ginger.
Yeah.
Well, because she's conquered him.
Gingers aren't real.
I thought you heard ginger.
You did hear ginger.
With Harry
That's the whole. You just hit it, V-Dub. That's the whole point. They want them to conquer them.
But you're
not.
Matt,
you look, Matt. You cook. If
like
Joshua Weissman can do a cooking stream with Brie, all you have to do is bring the zucchini.
But yours has to be bigger than hers.
Don't you worry.
Thank you for letting me say that.
She knew what she was doing when she showed that zucchini. She knew good and goddamn well what she was doing. Just like she knew what she was when she was stretching her little tights, trying to show, see, I have some butt cheek. No, you don't, bitch.
Yeah.
But if all we have to do is be successful and keep talking about her, she'll slide into Matt's DMs.
I agree.
I doubt it. Sorry, not to be
Well,
buzzkill
you know
here,
what?
but I'm going to
It's
be
worth a
buzzkill.
try. It's worth a try. I say we blow up the
So-
Culture Crime Fighters as big as we can. 100 million subs a month, and then we'll
Just
see.
invite her on the show. You never know; she might come.
She might
Yeah.
She might come on the show too.
So let's make that.
If Marvel
collective
drops her, she
effort.
might. Because where the fuck else she gonna do?
I say we just make a collective effort to make that show as big as possible, and then we'll see. One step at a time.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And then we work on my channel. Damn it!
You have more subs than both of us combined.
I love you, but I have love for both of you in a very bad way.
Work on my channel. I like
In a very
3,000
platonic kind of way.
Very
Who
platonic.
are you
kind of.
trying to
By the
pull?
way, Wake Down looks remarkably like my buddy Comics Division.
Yes,
It really starts to get.
You get it too.
And
It really
I
starts
have
to
this-
get confusing.
What is the deal with me and these fucking faces I make? I swear to God.
I
Oh
have
well.
long, glowing, gorgeous hair.
Oh my
Dude.
god!
God!
Oh, you people are evil humans. I love you, but you are very evil.
I think it's because everybody's probably drinking. That's why they're
Can
more.
you tell I went to the gym that day?
This is my
Look at how-
first week.
Look at how yoked I am in that picture. It's like okay.
Ah. It's so weird.
The replicating.
I literally
Hey,
five
Invasion of the
people.
body snatchers.
It's like
Culture,
a board
you want it
game.
to be
If
big?
you get 4 in a row, you win.
I love that.
Tat Casino.
This is a
I'm too respectful there, Culture Casino. I would
Thank
never do something like that.
yeah, and I like my logo too much. So too self-centered.
I like me too much, so I'm not getting rid of that.
Oh wait, here, let me,
Narcissist confirmed.
here, I feel better now.
That's a better one.
What the fuck is that, Culture?
That's Stephen Walton.
Is that Stephen Walton?
It is.
Yep,
I
it
thought that was a
is.
porn star from the 80s. And it was going back to the gay 80s thing.
Yeah, that's exactly
No
who Stephen
disrespect,
Walton is. Yes,
Stephen Walton.
that's exactly who
I'm
Stephen
being.
Walton
That's
is.
a shoot. That's really what I thought. I thought, oh, he's doing the gay in the 80s thing. No, I mean, no, not not if you I know the tree, but whatever.
Wow,
What a
I'm gonna tell
bigot.
Steven you said that, VW. He has a lot of
I'm telling you what the picture looks like when you're drunk, man.
All right. Wow, you're drunk? Holy crap.
Well, who is Stephen
Ooh.
Walton? That
Oh
sounds.
my
Author
God.
Stephen Walton.
Oh, right, okay.
Author of the Phantom Menace. He wrote. I think how many volumes is that book? He's at like 2 or 3.
A lot
Two.
of trees
Two
died
volumes.
to make that book.
The Phantom Menace.
He's Islington Girl is pointing out that it's a Luke bomb. Yes.
Shout out to Luke. He is your father.
Finally joined the chat. He's so he won't hang though for very long. He gets very fickle from sitting down, but he's still annoying me. Like he's still like I'm like, all right, I'll pet you, and then he still hangs
He's
out by
trying
the
to get
chair.
you. See, animals want you to do what they want. They're like, no, stop the stream, play with me.
I know.
Fuck the stream. It's like, no, you're a fucking
All
animal.
that
Yeah.
attention,
It's
you,
cat food or
all
something.
that
motherfucker. Get out of
attention
here.
you're giving that stream, you could be giving me. Why aren't you giving it to me?
Exactly.
I'll just sit here on your keyboard because that obviously is where you think you're going to be spending your time, but you're not going to be spending your time on that stream. You're going to be spending it with me. That's the way it's supposed to be. Yes.
If you died, that thing would eat your face.
Hey.
He's not a feminist. He's good. That might be how Bree goes, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, don't talk about Luke like that.
Yeah.
He's a honorable kitten.
And I need to apologize. I haven't drunk in like weeks. And so
That's
I'm
okay.
like kind of lit. So I apologize. I've been talking over people and I've just been a rambling asshole. So I
I
apologize.
like a drunk man.
I'm not as stinky
Frontality.
as drunk I am. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm not that drunk. I just noticed, like, man, I've been talking like an asshole this whole show.
No, you haven't.
I need to
You're just
shut the
concerned that you are because you've been drinking, but you've been quite charming as
all
always, Vigilante.
So
Hey,
does this
man, I
sound
want to
okay?
come on your podcast. Come over
are we
here.
good here?
Stick your 2
fuck.
fingers
Will
up
one
for
day,
you.
bro.
Are we good here, Culture?
No, I'm working. This is a new microphone. You guys don't understand.
What
it's
mic?
weird.
Don't ask me about audio engineering. I don't know shit about it. I have like this, the box you're supposed to plug in the mic into. I don't know what I'm doing. I try to turn off like the audio processing from StreamYards, and it only goes to one channel, and then it sounds all terrible. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't ask me.
Right. Sorry, what did you say?
I will tell you, you absolutely sound as good or better, probably in my opinion, better than you did this morning on the 6 Minute Daily.
Thank you, sir. That'll help.
What mic do you have?
There you go.
You sound
this
closer to your mic.
Okay, so this one is the Electro Voice RE20. So this is I think the same mic that Gary has, but I bought it because it is a studio quality microphone that is dynamic.
I was about to ask you if you're using a new microphone.
Yes, yeah, I like this a lot.
I like that mic. I used that when back in the day when I was a younger Jelante Williamson. I was on a college radio station. We had those mics. It was a shitty college radio station. They had really good mics.
Yeah, these are very, very good. If I were going to go and professionally sing, wow, I almost gave a lot of information away. If I were going to do stuff like that, this would be the microphone that I probably would use in the studio. These are very good microphones, but I'm not a sound engineer.
Well, I'd like to hear you try it out, Cultures. Why don't you sing the Star Wars theme in the a la Bill Murray style?
Star Wars, talking about Star Wars.
Perfect. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, it
All
does.
right,
Nothing but Star Wars.
I have an audio engineering nerd question. Like, I'm assuming you have like a cloud lifter, or do you have an additional preamp, or just a cloud lifter and then go into an interface?
Actually, you can definitely use a cloud lifter and go through some kind of a box or interface.
Yeah, I actually have mine going through a cloud lifter.
Yeah, and I don't need it because I'm using a Go XLR. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I didn't realize you had to go XLR.
Yeah. This thing's amazing. Yeah.
You know, it used to be guys.
I should now have a chorus.
Used to be guys kind of sparred with each other to try and prove who had the biggest dick, and now it's who's got the biggest microphone.
Yeah.
Well, no, dude, I can't compare. Okay, so the guy above me, his name's Comics Division. Freaking dude has like 500 pounds of like audio gear just to like make him sound amazing.
He's actually not wrong. I do. Yeah. I turned my camera on, but
I think you've got an equipment deck too. If I cited that behind you.
I have a audio rack where I have basically everything running through a series of DBXs. So I have a DBX 131S, which is the equalizer.
Right.
Then the DBX 266 XS, which is just like a compressor, and then I have like another unit which is a 286S, which also has a compressor, but I use the better compressor. This has like a bunch of like enhancement crap, and then of course I also have the Go XLR, which is where everything goes into the computer.
Yeah, and that's what I use to go into the computer. So, like today, I looked at the loop. Is it called a loop deck? Anyway, it's really amazing. It actually will enable me to take mics on the road and do recordings without anything but the deck itself, and then plug it in and play them back. So it's pretty cool. So if I want to do like interviews, I can do them that way. But it's a lot of money to spend for something like that kind of a toy.
Yeah,
I mean, this shit gets expensive, but fortunately, like the majority of the gear I bought, I've been able to purchase through YouTube money.
Well, I'm looking at just seeing what your camera like in your room. You have all this like instruments and shit. It looks like you know what you're doing. I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Like everything.
I got you fooled, buddy.
You sound good, by the way, Matt.
Thanks. I think it's really just the.
You wouldn't know that Comics is actually a 12-year-old Welsh girl because of all that audio processing.
Oh yeah. Me turn the camera on as
like Randy Marsh.
I use an application to make myself look like a guy. So yeah, I'm really 12-year-old Welsh.
Oh, is that where Hitler's mustache became a beard? It was in the app.
Yes.
I gotta say though, this is cracking me up because I've got one step above a tin can with a wax string here with a gaming headset.
It works,
and it works.
You know what I have? I have a phone and like a $5 pair of headphones. That's
perfect.
My audio. Like
that's all you need, Jed. And that's
why you sound like a 12-year-old Welsh girl.
Oh, stop.
I was just being a nerd asking questions because I almost bought a new mic. Well, almost got into debt over a new mic chain, but I didn't. And instead bought a sampler, which still was stupid. But there you go.
You know, the sampler's kind of handy. You know, I'm a big fan of all the gear, but fortunately, this is YouTube money at this point. This is what you get.
Reinvesting into yourself.
Yeah, I just keep reinvesting everything, and I know comics is the same thing, and it's what I recommend. Don't get into debt over YouTube. That's not. That's not.
What was YouTube getting into debt over YouTube?
Actually, speaking of YouTube, I know we're just losing. The chat just loves this. Sit your dildo calls this. Talking about Mike's homoerotic. I have a question for Matt. What's your green screen setup? Because I need to do something with my setup.
Oh, that's actually been a whole fucking thing, to be honest. So trying to keep this thing lit is a bitch. So it's like I think this is like the corner of my room, and there's I have a green screen, just like it's like a fabric green screen. Like, all right, I'm gonna break the fourth wall here, guys.
You actually were in space.
Oh my god! I know. It's very disturbing. But it's just like a fabric.
Oh, he's breaking my sense of reality.
I know.
Oh my god!
It really.
I'll never trust YouTube again.
I know.
It's not my show, man.
I don't believe you guys are being upset. So it's like literally just like a fabric, like green screen, just like nailed into the wall. And then the lighting is the biggest bitch, honestly. So I've like 3 lights over my desk, and then like 1 light that's like a long like strip light behind me that like illuminates the back. Because that was the issue. It's so hard to keep these things like properly lit so that they have
Evenly
enough.
lit.
It is a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass.
Jesus.
Like if you. I don't think it's happening to me right now. No, but before, like the blue was picking up as green, and it's a whole hassle. And then additionally, I have to have all these like mic, camera settings to like make sure that like the gain is like the right amount, so that like the green screen gets picked up appropriately, but like not too much, so I don't get all washed out. It's a whole thing, man. It's like
Jesus.
I had to learn how to do all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass.
Green screen.
It is. But here's the thing. So I mounted lights on the ceiling. Wow, Wake Down is like coming through his green.
Wake Down is like, what's up?
Like I have
going max headroom on us.
Wait, Culture, did you say lights on the ceiling or mirrors on the ceiling?
Yeah, well, that's
you said mirrors.
Oh, okay, mirrors with lights
on the ceiling.
Oh,
okay. Champagne on ice.
Look. So right now, so the face lights right there. It's 65. It's 6500K. The reflector is on this side. It's also 6500K. It's what lights up the green screen, which makes this all black behind me right now. So, and the green screen for me is a solid, what we call a haunt wall. Which is the very thin walls that they use in haunts that you walk through, where you hear them banging on the wall and you're freaking out as you walk through and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's tied to the 14-foot ceiling over my head, so that it doesn't fold one way or another, because it's not weighed down. I don't have stage weights or anything on the back of it.
It sounds like you built a studio.
Yeah, well, this is the library, so like there's 14 feet high.
The
library. Yeah,
there was no books in it, Matt. Don't worry.
Sorry, would anyone just want to pause just for 1 second? The library. What wing of the house is the library? Is it near the conservatory? Like what?
Oh yeah.
How far is it from the staff quarters?
For the record, Matt, I miss my library in my old house.
Where did the servants live? Yes.
Is it next to the smoking room?
No.
See, I've got none of that stuff, but I do have this. This is all you need to stream a Dick's Division t-shirt. That's all you need.
Look, Matt, you gave me a hard time here, but like literally this whole wall.
But hold on, I did dismiss a few servants. They were interrupting the stream, but now we can go back to it.
You guys are dicks. I don't have that kind of money. God damn.
Hey.
He just have a library. I've got a bookshelf. He has a library.
I've got two closets.
I've got a Kindle. That's my library.
Yeah.
He's living his own version of Clue. It's a real life version of Clue.
I don't have I don't have a conservatory. That's all I have to say about that.
No, but you do have a cabin.
I do actually have a
in the woods.
In the woods.
1%er.
Hey, I also own land as well. So
yeah, you do.
Cancer culture.
I don't just have two pieces of property. I own 3 pieces of property.
Jesus,
Vigilante's on camera. That's this.
Yeah, well, I'm going on camera to illustrate why I asked. So
Indians.
Look at that Indian's hat.
Cleveland Indians.
Yes,
God.
this hat is worth way
Right
too
on.
much for me to be wearing right now.
Cancel
Because
this, man.
Thank you, Cleveland. Shout out to D. Bud Martin with the Clue reference. Is it Professor Plum with the pipe? No, it was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick.
God damn it.
D. Bud Martin.
You know what? I'm never saying it again. Anyway, this
Oh, somebody did do Colonel Mustard with the candlestick.
Mustard did it with sentient dildo in the library.
This room. Okay, so I'm going to say something's going to make me look like a real douchebag. This used to be the room that was the sports bar room in the house.
We get it. You're rich.
Yeah, really.
I am not.
So,
You don't need to rub it in.
Okay, upper middle class, whatever. So, like,
No.
you see how shitty. Like,
I don't
used to
have
that
Obama money. I'm
floating
not
screen
Obama
right
money.
next to
Obama
me.
money.
Obama money, yeah. But like, I used to have that floating screen next to me, like closer to me. But then it ruined the space in the room. So I need more space to put all my studio shit to make music and shit. But I need this to look good too. And I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with my
all right. So here's the thing.
I see. So you're like experimenting with different. Yeah.
All you have to do, VW, is light a green sheet equally. So if you have a shop light,
That's not that easy though.
it is. You have
Here's another consideration. I still need the space, so I have to figure something.
It's not that easy because look, if you put a light in front of you and then you cast it on you, well, the shadow of yourself puts a shadow on the back, so it's not that easy. You have to
you use a
backlight.
diffuser. Your front light has to be diffused. That's aimed at your face.
Already not easy.
It's dude. Okay.
I've been dealing with this for a year and a half. Culture, it's not easy.
Culture. This is Matt we're talking about.
We don't all have fucking conservatories and
yeah, I don't have a staff.
I don't have a
I
conservatory.
don't have a library I'm not using to build a wall,
I'm
a
gonna
haunt
find-
wall in.
I'm so happy I showed up in this stream right now.
I'm sorry, library and bar room.
Yeah.
My bad.
I like the sports bar idea though.
Magnificent.
It was
Hairman.
awesome, dude. The
No
kegerator
worries.
was in here. I had like the whole bar. The bar was ridiculous in here. But
Dildo
keep on
said
tap.
Matt is disabled. Go
Go
slow.
slow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Green screen. Okay.
It's not disabled. He's got learning difficulties.
Look, Matt.
different difficulties. That's not funny. I'm kidding.
No, Matt,
I do have learned difficulties. But
Matt,
it is
he
funny.
does. He does. I know he does. If you show up on Monday or Thursday.
Oh
Yeah.
God, try and listen to me fucking read an article. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
But so here's the thing, and look, we all kind of had the places we're not the best at. Matt, I'm sorry that you struggled, and it's actually
I'm not sorry.
That's nice of you. Thank you.
It's easy. It's easy to fix. The diffuser doesn't. It's just an umbrella that's like.
I know.
and opaque.
Hey,
Just
Right.
buy a
Buddy,
house with a library.
I had
and the
to film
problem solved.
auditions for 10 years in Los Angeles. I know what a diffuser is.
Okay, well, okay, but but then why was it so hard?
Isn't that what you
Why
put
was
the
it
incense
so-
in?
It was how.
Well, in the old place in LA, it wasn't that bad because I did it in the living room, so I could put up the 3 box lights. So I could do a 3-point lighting. That was not a problem. But once I moved here and I didn't have that room, it became a whole nother thing. And then because I'm in the corner here, trying to light like a corner is a whole thing too. Like if I move this light behind me in like too far of a direction or what, it isn't just cut and
It
dry.
depends on the space. It depends on what your space can allow and what you're trying to do.
Nobody puts Matt in the corner.
That's right. Matt put himself in the corner apparently.
That's
Look,
He always
Look.
does.
look. The whole point is you don't have to spend money on stupid YouTube. And I started out with like the fucking cheapest ass piece of shit camera ever.
I'm still going cheap with the camera. I'm still using the same webcam. I just need my set to look cool, and I don't know what the fuck to do. And to have space.
A green sheet. You need 2 pieces of conduit, one of them to hang the sheet from, and you want to keep it taut.
Lighting. And that's another thing. I got to keep it taut, and then I have to it has to
light it.
also Well, what am I going to do when I'm not using it? Though
That's the whole thing.
Roll the shit up. Hold it up.
He streams like every day. You can't do that. You got to have a setup.
That'll
Here
be
you go.
insane. I need something.
I got an idea for you.
Yeah.
See, go get you a. You can bolt it to your ceiling. Those things like you had in your classroom when you were a kid. And
they actually have green screen versions of those. Yeah, Wake Down's right.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, they actually a functional green screen that I just throw a sheet over when I actually want to use it as a green screen. It's a green piece of cloth, and I light it with 2 lamps
until it just like rockets up in the middle of a stream.
No. But no, he's not wrong. I mean, Elgato makes a green screen that's on like a movie screen thing, like he's talking about. All that, yeah.
You could also just paint your wall
even
green.
Do one of those.
Yeah, you can do that.
That are in the frame or ring that all you need is a support for it, and they're easily portable. And all you have to do is cut out the portion of you that the green screen is behind, and you're good to go.
Yeah, there's different options. It's all like culture is it's doable. I think is the point. It is doable. It's gonna just take some work and some finagling and figuring out.
So when I go up north, right? When I go up to the cabin. I'm
not rich going to the cabin.
When I summer on the island,
sort of euphemism.
When we go to the cabin in Newport,
when my staff take me on the coach and horses up to the cabin.
Yes.
Here, I got ripped on for having a black
when
nanny
I take
when I
the
was
culture
younger.
one,
when
my staff takes the culture one up to.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, culture, I have a cabin now too. So
they're making fun of me, comics. They're making fun of me.
Yes, I know they're making fun of you.
It's just culture is just envy.
We're broke. I want a cabin. I'll never own anything.
I'm broke.
I Vigilante Williamson. It took me 47 years to get where I'm at, man. It takes time, okay?
Listen, dude, I'm 50.
Here's the thing.
There's
50. A fucking socialist revolution that we just talked about earlier. Occupies like $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Like by the time I'm ready, it's like, oh yeah, you have your $5 million to get your shack home. No, I don't.
Yeah, comrade, sign up. Do you have your vaccine passport?
So my advice to you is like, if you really want to do that, save up money now so you can actually put a down payment on a piece of property with a house on it.
That's probably good advice.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a state that you could keep it.
Yeah, like Texas.
That's even better. Yeah, and stop spending money on hookers.
Yeah,
that's
it's
important.
The sampler problem that's really the problem. The hookers are cheap. It's fucking 90 samplers are expensive.
Oh, what did you get?
I got the sampler, the same sampler that Jay Dilla and Madlib use, so it's like I had to get it.
What is a sampler?
A sampler, okay, it's like an MPC. Well, I have an SP303 I just bought, and so what you do, you take like old records or sounds or anything, any sound, and you put it into, and then you can organize it. That's how a lot of hip hop beats are made. Fucking different producers use different samplers, and so like Pete Rock is known for the SP1200.
Sample.
Who am I thinking? DJ Premier MP60.
Sample.
Seriously.
Sample.
What is that?
Somebody
he just sampled his own voice.
Sample.
Okay, we get it. It sounds like the end of Batman '89 when the Joker's laughing. Please.
That's the point. Okay.
Yes. Hey, that was good, Draco. That was exactly like it.
He did. Yeah, Draco nailed it.
So wait. So how is that better than like? And I'm honestly just asking, like, why is that preferable to just like a soundboard? Like why would you need a whole machine?
Oh, this has nothing to do with like YouTube. This is not a YouTube.
It's more of a music thing.
So
it's a music instrument.
It? Like what? It's an instrument.
It's an instrument. So I can make beats.
Is that the thing with like the little rubber pads that you like touch? Like and you like.
Yeah, that's us, right? That's not the one I got, but yes, that is what. Yes, that's more famous.
Yeah, I've seen like more like the EDM DJs, like that's how they build a song like live. They like hit the buttons.
Yeah. It's actually something
they hit the buttons live.
They do. It's actually really cool. Like
live.
Some of them are.
They hit the buttons live.
Oh,
they hit the buttons
here we
live.
go again.
Okay, we get it. You're mad that we made fun of your servants and your guest homes.
now
you're going to
my
sample
stream. He's just gonna ruin my stream now.
Karma's a bitch.
That's what I get for teasing him.
No, but see that you're right. EDM guys build their songs that way. Excellent, like live DJs.
I saw Warren Zevon in concert once. It was just him with an acoustic guitar, and he built sample upon sample of his guitar and vocal till he had like a whole orchestra behind him, and then he sang the lead over the top.
I love that.
Really neat.
Was it Desperado Over the Eaves, or like what's that song where he does that, where he builds it? Dude, I love Warren Zevon.
He just built the whole thing up with samples on stage. It was brilliant.
But
that's awesome.
But see, then you have really talented hip hop artists that like build off of the samples that they take all the time. It's become quite the skill, and so when you invest a lot of money in those things, it's actually pretty easy to do. I mean, I was in a Guitar Center here recently, and I was like, "Damn, I want one of those bad."
So wait, the sampler that you were just using, that's just software on your computer? That's not like a machine?
No, that's part of the Go XLR.
I didn't know the Go
does.
Yeah.
So what is that a piece of machinery or is that software?
That's a piece of machinery.
It's a combination of hardware and software.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, like for example, this microphone that I have here, this thing is brand new. It plugs into the Go XLR. It's an XLR connection, which is why it's Go XLR.
Well, mine's XLR too. I have this freaking thing. It's the Focusrite, and it's
yeah. I have the bigger version of that.
Yeah,
so
it's just
older.
But I don't know. I don't know how to fucking use it. I barely touch it because I'm gonna fuck it up.
No, well, dude, whatever you did to start, good job.
Yeah.
Because you sound great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But, yeah. No, seriously. I mean, that's no bullshit.
That is a good. The Focusrite is actually a pretty good preamp. You picked well.
Yeah.
It had a high rating on Amazon. That's as much research as I did.
Excellent. But way to go. But
didn't have to tell us that.
I'm not trying to. I'm not lying. I got nothing to hide.
But it's one of those things where the nice thing about the Go XLR is you can control it. You can change it. You can add chorus or reverb or anything else. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's got a bunch of nice effects. It's pretty sweet.
Okay.
This stream is starting.
Will it get me more subs?
You can't blame me for it.
We are completely off topics.
Wow.
I don't think we even have we had a topic?
It is not my fault.
We started off talking about like
no topics.
Bunch of political shit.
It's not my
Indians.
fault. I am not Az. It's not my fault.
That is pretty.
That's how what he has is how Az does all his effects with the vocals.
The hot dog man.
Hot dog, yeah, all that stuff.
Hot dog man's my favorite.
Yeah, I probably could do it too.
Dog. Yeah, that
is Az going to be in Vegas comics?
No.
Hot dog.
No, he can't get out of the.
Oh no,
Az might be able to leave the country, but I don't think they allow him back in.
No,
stay here.
Probably for good reason.
Doesn't want to.
Are there announced?
Well,
guests?
that's different.
Have we announced? Are there announced guests who's going to be in Vegas?
Well, I'm going to be there. Is that announcing?
Well, it's not like it's an actual Comic-Con or something. I mean, the guests are going to be like the F&T crew, and then.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if everyone's going to be there.
Well, Gary mentioned last week was like this could be a complete cluster thing, because there could be 100 people, there could be 3,000 people.
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of frightening about it. It's like
that's the frightening thing. He's talked about setting up an RSVP widget on his webpage, so you can say, okay, I'm going to be there.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, no, you're not wrong actually, and here's the thing. Melissa put together an RSVP thing on Instagram that you can actually say you're going to be there.
I clicked that I would be.
I don't have InstaFace, so I'm like, okay,
it's the scam. It's the scam.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It was pretty loose. I mean, it wasn't even a post. It was like in the story. So if you just happen to catch that story,
yeah, and I was like, okay, well, the boss and I will be there like the whole time, and I keep trying to tell everybody I'm passing out the chips. The actual poker chips for Culture Casino.
Oh, I want one.
Oh, yeah, I do kind of want one.
I want one.
Yeah.
Where are you staying, Culture?
I'm staying at the Paris. A lot of people I know are staying.
I wanted to. There, it's too expensive. I was like, I don't want to spend that extra. It was like an extra $400.
So, Culture, do all your.
But
mods
you are a
get
man
one
of
those
means,
chips
as we've
too?
already established.
Lord Thoth, I am setting aside something equally as special as that for my mods here in the future. So, absolutely,
outstanding.
Yeah, you guys have no idea how much I appreciate you, because I have dealt with very little bullshit because of you guys. It's amazing.
Well, I'll be honest. There's been very little bullshit in your channel. It's been very good. It's mostly great people who just love to be there. You do a great job. I love all of the stuff that you do.
Then this is why I'm not growing like Ryan Cannell, because I need to be more asshole.
Well, we need less asshole as well as more asshole on. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I don't know. Culture. You're staying in the Paris. I'm going to be staying on the south side of that same block in the Alara.
Oh yeah, beautiful. I love that area.
And there is a beer bar in the Paris.
Yes, there is.
That looks real interesting.
Look,
I know I'll definitely be hanging there. I know I'll be
right by that. Right by that bar is these magical things called craps tables. So if you are ever at a loss for trying to find me, yeah, it's probably where I am.
Probably where you are? Okay.
Probably.
It's magic.
If there's anything that Culture likes, it's craps.
I do.
Oh, is that right? Are you a craps guy?
Yeah,
my craps.
Look, my
sorry, I had to take it there.
So my grandfather, when I was 9 years old, started teaching me craps. It's a skill.
Or giving you crap.
You grew up in Detroit? What the hell? I learned craps when I was playing spades at like 5 years old.
I know, same thing. Like it's like you learned all these amazing games. No,
that's a
great
card game.
I'm offended.
Wow,
truth.
You are really trying to get Bree.
Of it.
No, he's really trying to get Bree, dude. That is a 100% Bree statement there.
You need to be like super like right wing to get Bree. She does not want the leftist.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Yes,
absolutely.
Bree will have her mask up and put two fingers up, like in the picture. So,
I spent a lot of money to get like this little arm thing that holds the microphone. And then I spent like $15 to hold this mic. I like this better. I don't know why. It's dumb. Don't do that. Don't waste money. I'm going to tell everybody, don't waste money on dumb shit.
What, on this articulated arm?
Yeah.
It doesn't even really work. Watch why this doesn't really work. If I just push it like,
I know it goes down like, it's like
it's not helpful. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I have to lock it.
Because that's a shitty fucking stand.
All right.
Mine's is a rope's arm, which is actually pretty fucking fantastic.
I can't do a whole lot with this because it would fight me.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And this one, the one that's holding the Yeti, because the Yeti's still over here. The one that's holding the Yeti would also fight you. But I'm like, this is so much better because like if I need to move it because I'm doing it like a game stream or something, I just like pick it up and move it.
I move a lot though. Like I'm very I don't know, I'm a fidgety person, so I'm always just kind of like moving. So I needed to kind of be able to, I need to move with me, you know?
You need a lapel mic.
I need like a little lav. Yeah.
You need just another red
like
shirt
I'm on TV
mic.
Yes. Or like Jed, go super the other way and get like do what Jed does and use a headset. They work
I
great.
have a $5 pair of headphones and a phone, and that's it.
And they work great, dude. When I was doing gaming streams early on with Orbs, right?
Yeah.
So much smarter than us.
Who?
No, Culture, by all means, please.
No, I don't. Fuck, I don't know. I'm not going to talk anymore because you guys are making fun of my.
I'm going to talk shit.
I can't help it. I have to make fun of things. That's how I relate to the world. I'm insecure, Culture. All right, if I don't tease things, I don't know how to be.
But you're handsome. You should make up for that when you're handsome.
Doesn't change anything. No,
I don't know.
It makes it even worse. It makes it even worse because you're like, oh, you should have confidence. You're handsome. It's like, oh, why don't you fucking loser?
Pussy all the time.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
Matt slays that pussy all the time.
See, this is like the inside of my head. What's wrong with you, Matt? Why do you have all these problems?
By the way,
Thank you, IDIC.
Here's something that I know. Here's something I know everybody wants to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Is Harry's, the shave company, are they woke?
Oh, I thought you were doing an ad right now. I was like, is this guy?
Are they doing something woke?
No, I'm just asking, are they woke?
Oh, we're just trying. I don't know.
From what I know, they're not.
I think Dollar Shave Club is the one that got woke.
Okay, all right, because I have to find new razors because I don't buy Gillette anymore, right? And so like I'm out of my supply of like.
I actually use it's not a straight razor. It's a old timey.
Yeah,
safety razor. Yeah, where you actually replace the blades, and I get them from my local grocery store, and they're pretty awesome.
Okay, all right. Well, I've considered that. I mean, my dad, one of my dads, still shaves with one of those, but I'm like looking for like easy and fast.
That's pretty easy and fast, man.
Well, what do you shave? You have a beard.
Oh, dude. Oh my God, you were so young. You were so young.
No, I'm not.
Okay, look. Okay, so you have to shave to keep the shape of your beard and, everything else. And then if I go scuba diving, I've got to lose all of this to get down to a goatee. And I have to shave underneath my nose so the mask goes on and seals tightly.
I don't use I just
and
use
he
a
also
buzzer.
uses them to shave his balls, too.
Well, that's also true. Yeah, I am. But look, that's
an electric razor does the job for that shit. I don't need
no, dude. You are very young. When you get to be older,
oh my God!
What does it have to do with age?
Because I need a freaking what do you call them?
I don't
chainsaw to get through my beard. It's so dense. It's crazy. So no, seriously, if the electric razors sound like they're like, and then they start tearing hair out.
It's not an electric razor. It's like a hair buzzer. It's like a that's why the same thing I use in my head. I just use like on the beard,
like a hair ripper.
Yeah, clippers. Yeah, they're like clippers.
Those don't work.
Oh, I guess I don't know what I've been doing since I've had this.
No. Okay, how many hairs per follicle do you grow?
What? How would I know this? Like a science question. Yeah, why would I know that?
Not all of us are got
apes,
5,000,
like unevolved monkeys. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what? I'm so glad I came on the stream today.
Whatever, Dr. Zayas.
Aunt you.
Dr. Zayas.
Actually,
typical
like that.
culture gets put into a corner, goes and hides.
Mike's.
I don't want to hurt you.
I just give you a hard time, buddy. I really am.
Everybody's just bashing each other. Where is the love?
Where is the
You know what it is?
We're bashing each other, Vigilante, out of love. It's called good-natured ribbing.
How male is that?
Yeah,
we are ribbed for your pleasure.
We haven't trashed any, we haven't gone after He-Man or Black Widow, so we have to just attack each other.
I haven't seen
He-Man. Kevin Smith.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen Black Widow, but He-Man is trash. Okay.
Fuck them. If you saw my tweets, I stayed up all night last night. I watched every goddamn episode.
Jed's got something to say.
That shit out.
Kevin Smith
fucking killed.
lied.
He fucking killed Adam and He-Man twice. He fucking
Get him
killed
mad,
Orko. He fucking
celebrated
killed Roboto. That guy's a fucking prick and he didn't love He-Man.
Damn, Jed's gonna fight him.
Spoilers. Here's the problem. Look. I'm gonna say this, and I only watched exactly 10 minutes of the piece of shit that is called Masters of the Universe Revelations.
Mistresses of the Universe.
Yeah. No, Missandress of the Uterus.
That's better.
Yeah,
that's well put.
No, I was like, look, if Adam had revealed that he was He-Man, then the opening segment of the first episode of this show would have failed immediately, and we wouldn't have been there.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
And I just love how Adam died, and then Tila makes it all about herself.
Oh, you died! Oh my God!
I
was dead. How was I supposed to? Come on.
So Tila is the new
odd one.
Well, it really pisses me off because okay. I'm not going to declare myself as being the biggest He-Man fan, but it's a part of my childhood. Okay, yeah. I had all the first run toys. I watched the cartoon as a kid. I don't own anything now, but it was a big chunk of my childhood. And for Kevin Smith to come over, lie to the fan base,
fucking Jersey,
fucking lie. Oh no, it's about He-Man. When he got specifically called out, and again, this may be contractual obligation shit, but you don't fucking say anything.
Yeah,
you don't address it. You don't lie to the people that support you. And I have been a big Kevin Smith fan. I loved Clerks. I love Mallrats. You know, the Leonard Jersey saga. I fucking love.
But here's the thing.
I am just so fucking pissed at him for doing this shit.
Comics.
Me too.
Comics. Are you still going to? And here's the question: are you still going to see Clerks 3?
No, fuck that. Fuck this guy.
He can go fuck himself. Thank him.
No, seriously, Kevin Smith. I mean, like I said, I've seen the guy lie, man. I went to go see a screening of Red State where he was there with Jason Mewes because I was such a huge fan of him. And
I watched like the documentary he put out where it was just like a university tour, and it was just him talking about like whatever, and it was like
his
mildly entertaining. But I was such a fan. I do like I didn't even see this. I'm not even a He-Man fan. I feel 100% betrayed by this fucking guy because like he like what Gary said is like he used to be the people he's attacking.
Yeah.
Like Clownfish TV, like going after them, mischaracterizing what they put out there and being all like, well, I wish you were in the writer's room, but we already
fuck you, Kevin. That's all I gotta say. Fuck you.
Yeah,
but here's
you used to be one of us. Now you're a fucking sellout.
Yeah,
I want to like
poser. He's the poser.
No, he's a fucking sellout. He's way worse than poser. He was one of us.
I don't know.
He's a fucking sellout.
Well, I don't know that he was one of us.
No, he was.
He was, man.
Back in the day, maybe.
No, because he was like in Clerks where they have that conversation about like, are the maintenance workers on the Death Star, like, are they, if they die, is that right or wrong? Like, that's a very us conversation to kind of have. Man.
Yeah.
Like,
he fucking wrote Daredevil for a bit over Marvel. I mean, he legit.
He's got a comic shop.
Well, he was legit. Now he's
got a lit ass comic shop, dude. Like I've been to that the Secret Stash in Jersey. It's a really cool comic shop. Like his buddy is behind the desk. You'd seen him in the fucking movies. Like he was a legit dude for a minute, man.
Walt and
he also made Batman piss himself when he wrote comics. He didn't need wokeness to that. I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's weak. He's weak. And it happened. It happened because of his brush with death, and his daughter is the epitome of woke.
Is she?
By the way,
yes, she is, dude.
I don't know anything about her.
She grew up in L.A. Probably, I would buy it.
So it's just it. In the thing is look, I'm mad not because of the first time that he shoved the bullshit down our throats, but the third time that he tried to get us to swallow it.
Oh, and when he got caught in fucking 4K, Orko is gonna do a heroic sacrifice, and if you go and see the after thing, he rubs it in people's faces.
Oh, he's a piece of shit.
Well, if you watch the actual the after show he did, first thing out of his fucking mouth, we killed Adam twice.
What was that about?
And then his friend. Or not his friend, but the guy from Mattel. He's like, oh, this is a love letter to the fans. Fuck you. Fuck you.
It's not a love letter to the fans.
And I want to back up
middle finger to the fans.
I want to back up something Ryan Cannell said, and I mentioned this on the Culture Crime Fighters like weeks ago, but it was a thing that bugged me about that trailer. It bugged me about that whole thing. It was like they do know what the fans actually want.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and they're not going to give it to us
because they lead with it in the marketing. They lead with it in the marketing. They you know what I mean? They fucking like they give it to you in images.
The first few minutes of the show,
right? Oh, Tom's here.
Yeah,
does anybody
off like me?
Tom fucking heard us talking about He-Man a bit.
Yeah, dude. Tom is like old school like me, so yeah, he will just go up. I saw how bad he went off on FNT. Dude, I'd love to fucking passionate that motherfucker right there.
I'll jump out here, Matt. There, I'll let Tom in so that you guys can all have a chat.
Tradition can continue. Every time you leave, Tom shows up.
Yeah, that seems to be the tradition.
Are you going Billy Batson and just saying midnight after dark, and you turn to Tom?
You're probably right.
Thought.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Tom is my evil alter ego.
Lord Thought.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Yeah, I'll jump out so that Tom can come in here and you guys can keep chatting. I'm just going to say one thing about He-Man. You know what? I wasn't a really big fan of He-Man back in the day, but I love He-Man. That seems to be the same conversation that we're having with this shill that was part of this whole process. I think that Kevin Smith was whatever was going his way, and he jumped on the bandwagon, and all of a sudden he was a fan. If he did his research, that's one thing, but if he just jumped on this to make $1, that's another thing. I can't begin to think about what was going on behind the scenes and what he was doing. I've been a Kevin Smith fan since the early days. I love a lot of his early stuff. Dogma is one of my favorite old school movies, and I think that there's a lot of things that happened there that he really made a decision. He took the direction he wanted to because of what happened in his life, his heart attack, him almost dying, the whole thing with his daughter. He's getting older. He's starting to see the way the world is. Hollywood is as Hollywood does. Right now, it's just a cesspool, and that's kind of what he's a part of. And I think that's what happened here. I think he honestly thought he was doing good. I think he honestly thought he was creating a show that would be good for everybody. But I think he forgot where he came from, and he forgot the diehard, deep school, old school fans that love this show with a passion. And I think that's what he forgot. And this is a story about He-Man, Skeletor, with some really, really good, strong female characters. But you don't have to have them take over the story and become 2021 storyline with all of this woke.
And that's exactly what this shit has become.
Exactly. I agree, comics.
So this is where I will kind of real quick. I just wanted to push back on he thought he was doing some story. So you're showing the Rotten Tomatoes thing. First off, note the title, not He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revolution.
Yo, Gary was right. You can't find it by searching He-Man. You can't.
No. Secondly, the audience score, he says something about, I'm being review bombed, just like Captain Marvel.
He's not being review bombed.
Fuck you. His fucking shoes too.
But not only did which it shows one of the biggest problems with this shit because they refuse to accept criticism, but like he compared his shit to Captain Marvel. I'm in good company. They were fucking replace her. Bree might come on the Culture Crime Fires for a hub session, and you're talking about you want to be in the same boat as Captain Marvel. He knows.
Well, he's referring to the movie, but you know
that's what I'm saying.
Anyway, so.
That's my point. He's referring to that as a successful thing.
Yeah,
he's looking at this. This is good.
Says he likes it, and that means he liked Captain Marvel and thought it was good.
Doing the Ryan Johnson.
When all this is said and done, it's all about the dollars. He was offered a contract to go in there and do that, and he had a lot of pressure from upper management, from the writers' room, from everybody in Hollywood to write this story. As much as I agree with all of you, and I know that this is all about, do you remember the Frankenstein monster story where the villagers all burn the castle and are
trolling us?
Like we're all kind of doing that right now. I think that we need to take a step back and realize, you know what, he's got to do what's best for him and what's best for his family, and he's getting the dollars. And he burned this franchise, and we all hate him for it. And I'm on that boat too, guys. I hate him for it. But let's just remember that he did this for the dollar. This wasn't because he was a fan. He's not a fan of the show.
You're right. He did it for the dollars. He did it because he's a fucking sellout.
There,
I gotta something in here, guys.
You're a fucking sellout.
So you want us to forgive him because he took the 30 pieces of silver?
Guys,
exactly.
I need to interject something into this conversation. Lord Thoth, you're not leaving. I am. You need to stay. You know infinitely more about this than I do. Thank you, Matt. It's been a pleasure. If anybody else has to leave and I'm still around, I come back in. Thanks.
Okay.
And be seeing you.
Bye, Red Shirt.
All right, Red Shirt. He's not just another Red Shirt.
I know Tom really wants
Love you,
in.
Red Shirt, brother.
So Tom
No, Red Shirt, you didn't have to leave, man. What's up with that? I was
no, because Tom really wants in on this conversation.
Yeah,
like,
bring him in.
You know, yeah.
bring
Well, we
Tom
can't.
in.
I can't. It's not like I was trying not to. I literally, he couldn't join because there's too many people. So someone had to go.
Well, I could go.
No, it's cool. Like, Red Shirt's gone.
Yeah,
so,
Red Shirt's gone. So now
here he is.
Red Shirt.
Hey, Tom.
Hey,
Hey, Tom.
Hail Tom.
Tom's got
when people have to
Unleash
leave.
your hate, Tom.
It
I
is
hate
what
it
it
when
is,
people have
Tom.
to
Unleash it.
It is what it is, man. There's
No. I mean, I've been a Kevin Smith fan since 1993. Okay, I discovered
brother.
Clerks, and I showed it to everybody I knew. In
Same
fact,
here.
I'm probably responsible for 90% of the Kevin Smith fans in the Midwest area. Like, you could
And his
probably
live
trace
stream-
it all back
Yeah.
like herpes to me.
And his YouTube, I've been watching his YouTube channel
guess
for a
I'm
while
part of
and
the
watching his
6%.
videos with the two of them on there. You know, it's been he's been I like watching his show because it's been very entertaining. But recently, in the last probably 2 or 3 years, it's been awful. His YouTube channel, his live streams have been just more shilling for Hollywood. And look, I get that, Tom, and I and everybody else here. And I've been a fan of He-Man. I've had the toys as well in the 80s, and you know, and that was my young man years, young teenage years, and growing up with those toys. And I love the cartoon. I even have a really soft spot for the movie. But I think that what happened here was it was the dollars, it was Hollywood, it was the era of what's going on in Hollywood today in 2021. That's what happened here. I don't think he truly meant to destroy our fanatical fandom of this genre, this particular theme.
I think you're giving him way too much credit.
I think it was all about the dollar. It was all about the dollars.
Well, I think, guys,
on the after show, he showed how much he knew.
I
He
think,
made
guys,
fun of it.
I think that's all legitimate, but I think Tom
Yeah.
is about to give us like his history with like his relationship to Kevin Smith, and I really want to hear that.
Yes, and talk from the point of you made all of those fans in the Midwest. Go on.
Yeah,
Probably. I mean, again, I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but no, I'm not really kidding. Like, I passed Kevin Smith on like the fucking plague, man. Like, I was a part of the View Askew Newsiverse fucking website before Kevin even bought the damn thing.
Yeah, I was.
I was on there
too.
all the time. And then fast forward to 10 years before that, and I'm sat down in front of the television, and I hadn't, cartoons were kind of like ancillary to me at that point. I was still kind of like, all I really remember at that point in my life was Superman, Big Bird, and that's about it. Right? Like, I remember Sesame Street, and I remember Super Friends and Superman. Mm-hmm. That's about it. And I had a He-Man toy, but to me it was just a toy. Like, it didn't really connect with anything per se until my dad sat me down and I watched the first time ever seeing the Filmation He-Man. And it blew my fucking mind because the process, I had a toy and my toy was on TV talking to me. It was just like, it was something I couldn't even compute at that age. And so, like, growing up with He-Man throughout the years, I mean, between that and then just being such a Kevin Smith fan, look, I get what you're saying, Thoth, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be a fan, and he can do it for the money. That's not even why I care. But if you're going to do that, the least you should do is make sure that you're doing something that the fans will enjoy. Because, Andre and I brought it up 10 times over. Nicholas Meyer was not a Star Trek fan when he came on to Star Trek. Yet he has made 3 of the films that everybody tote as the best Star Trek films, including Star Trek 2.
Here.
He wrote part of Star Trek 4, and he directed part in Star Trek 6, right?
He didn't hide it, by the way. He
never hid it.
He didn't hide it.
All he did was talk to Roddenberry, and Roddenberry kind of explained to him what it was. He watched a few episodes. He's like, I get it. It's Horatio Hornblower in space. Now, this is what I can bring to the table, right? Like, that's the way Kevin Smith should have done this.
So much respect of a thing.
Right. Respect because the thing exists, not because of how my values apply to it. This thing exists. There's a fan base. I'm going to investigate it from that point of view and try to honor the people who love this thing.
And not just that. Go ahead.
No, because I want to finish your story.
Well, I was just going to say, and not just that. It's like he lied. I mean, I know you've all made this point, but I mean, he flat out fucking lied to. It's one thing. I don't give a shit if you are shill all day long, right? Like, that's one thing. We all do shit for a job that we never normally would do, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, we've all done shit for a job that we wouldn't do if somebody said, you know, do this for me. It's like, fuck you, pay me kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, look, that's one thing, but to sit there and go out and lie to the fans like you have, to go from, you know, saying, because I remember seeing it on Comic Book Men, and I remember bringing out that fucking episode and saying, he said this time he was not a He-Man fan then you had that fucking tweet that somebody else brought out, and, you know, all the shit up till then, and then the motherfucker sitting there trying to claim, oh, I watched every single goddamn episode.
In 81.
Well, it doesn't even matter about the year.
Yeah,
It's the fact that he sits there and claims that he watched every goddamn episode now, and then yet at one point claimed he never was a fan. That doesn't sound like somebody who wasn't a fan to me.
It's very disingenuous.
Exactly, the disingenuous
of it.
And then to double down on the piss off, he's coming after us because this is somebody who's never done this shit before. Kevin would sit there and he'd take the shit before. If he'd sit there and go, Mallrats fucking suck, fat boy, he'd be like, yeah, you're right, it does. Worst movie I ever fucking made. And he would, you know, and he would shit on himself all the fucking time. For him to be so defensive like this, it just screams like, fuck you, you fucking sellout. I can't believe you did this to us. As a fan at one point, you should have fucking known better.
We're also reading an awful lot.
Known better.
We're reading an awful lot into that one thing that he said like 10 years ago.
He attacked Clownfish.
It's the product.
Yeah, he fucking went after Clownfish.
Clownfish, and he fucking was practically laughing in the after show about how he killed him.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Clownfish.
Look, guys,
I get where you're coming from.
It doesn't matter. If he did none of that, he destroyed a character. He made a product that was intentionally divisive and cruel to a fan base that's been a fan of this thing for 40 years. This is a destructive move. That's what this. That's
absolutely.
Yeah. And it wasn't like even Ghostbusters. Yeah,
it's way worse. Like
it wasn't even like Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters, they flat out told us we're gonna fuck your shit up, right? They said we're making them all women. It's gonna be all these things. It's not like Kevin came out and said, look, I'm going to tell you the Tila story. It's not going to have a shit ton of He-Man in it. I'm sorry. If he'd have done all that shit, we'd have been like, yeah, we fucking expected that.
Or like Taika, like, I'll destroy your mythology or whatever.
Yeah, at least they had balls.
He lied.
Mercy and smarmy and lying. And exactly, why couldn't you say... I didn't know. I mean, we talked about it beforehand. Yeah. I just didn't think he would kill him in the first fucking episode. Jesus Christ.
In the first episode,
I had a feel. I knew it was going to happen in the first episode.
Can I just say something here, guys?
5 minutes.
That was what was going to happen. Is he was going to get killed in the first episode? Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to say something too. So tonight, my wife and I, and she's a normie. We're both in our late 40s, and she's very much a Toronto girl. So I'm the geek, the nerd, a Mountie, and so. I've been a big fan since the 70s of all of this genre, so sci-fi and everything else, and I love He-Man. I love all of this stuff, and the thing that's starting to happen here in society that we have to take into consideration is we're very vocal and we're very vehement and we're very strong about our opinions on what's going on, right? So we've started to get to the point now where we prejudge everything. Tonight, we sat down. We had barbecue steak and we had some wine, and we were getting ready to watch a movie. And it was Gunpowder and Milkshake, right? And
Gunpowder Milkshake.
Yeah, and so the first thing my wife did is we sat down and I told her, "Okay, let's watch this." And she said, "Okay." She said, "I don't want to go through this again with you." And I went, "What do you mean?" She says, "Everything we watch, you sit there and you curse at the screen and you yell at it and you get upset about everything we watch, whether it's Loki, whether it's the latest Avengers movie, whatever it is, it's all about getting upset about it because of what's going on the screen." And I said to her, "I promise you I won't make any comments or I won't get verbally abusive at the screen on what's going on tonight.
I won't beat you if they defile Luke. I won't do it."
And she said, "Okay, then we'll watch it." So we did, and boy, I tell you, it was really hard watching that movie tonight.
Oh, it's terrible.
And
I really don't know how you did it.
And so,
no, hang on. Which movie?
But
Gunpowder Milkshake.
Okay,
Don't watch it; it's terrible.
But my point is I try to be optimistic, and I try to go into all of these genre shows, all of these things that we love.
Why, Thought?
With an optimistic perspective.
You know better.
It's marriage. Why?
I know what's going to happen.
I would never watch a Lions game with a girlfriend. I would never do it.
Look, if I was dating
a Lions game, no wonder.
It's the same thing.
This is my favorite analogy. If I was dating a girl and she routinely cheated on me, but every time we got back together, I'd be like, I'm going in with this with open mind, and then she'd cheat on me again. Like, it would be that much worse if I'm like, this is a cheating whore, and then she cheats on me. I'm like, I knew it. Okay, at least I fucking knew it ahead of time. It's my mistake for getting invested. But to like go in there with like a soldier's like open mind, no, man.
So
why
Matt,
would you do that to yourself, Thought?
Matt, how long has you had your longest relationship?
I don't think watching Gunpowder Milkshake is
it's an analogy. I'm not using your wife. I
get that.
How long does a Pornhub video last?
I'm just giving you a hard time, brother. I'm just giving you
I'm not using your wife's DNA. I'm just saying, like, we have such a unhealthy relationship with Hollywood and the people that create this content. We know they're up to no good. There is no reason for us to believe that anything they make is going to be. We need to be almost like wisely cynical to approach everything with like a very scrutinizing eye and see if maybe it might actually be interesting. But to go in with optimism, man, it's like you're gonna keep getting your heart broken, dude.
I have. Keep it real. Well, Black Widow is a prime example. Sorry, V-Dub. Just let me. This is quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Black Widow is a prime example. I went in. I knew I was going to hate it because I love that character from the Silver Age, and she went in, and we both watched it together. I was upset with it at the end because it was awful. You know what? She said it was a 7 out of 10. It really hit. It really hit the feminine part of her. She, as a closet kind of fan, because she's kind of been sucked into what I love, she actually enjoyed it. She thought it was really good, and it had a lot of character points that she appreciated. So there are two sides of this too. Like, we're getting this from the testosterone-driven fanatical fan.
I'm talking about, why are you going in with optimism?
Yes.
Your wife can do whatever the hell she wants. You know better.
I'm trying. I'm trying to be positive.
You're married, happy wife, happy life. Just watch the chick flick, because at least it's going to be the chick flick now. Is going to be superior to what we're going to get from our stuff.
Let me tell you something about that genre.
They will be better.
It's been awful too, because every second movie we watch is one of those romantic comedies or whatever, and they have been just as awful in the last 5 years. So I just think that the writers' rooms in Hollywood are just terrible. It's all these.
I talked about it. We talked about it on Culture Bonfires.
Yep.
I think you might have something there, Thought.
Yeah, the early 20s crowd, where they're getting rid of the experienced writers, are gone now. That's
it's
the
a generational thing as well as a
well, J.J. Abrams is technically an experienced writer, so I don't know about that.
Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark, I want to hear more from you, because I know this strikes such a chord with you, and I really loved it. Like, I know it's painful for you. I'm not trying to relish in your pain, but I just really I really am interested in how tough this is for you, because it's like, not only is it the thing that you love being destroyed, it's being destroyed by someone you love.
Exactly. I mean, again, if it would have been anybody else, I wouldn't be as pissed. I'd be like, I figured as much. You know what I mean? And it's not like I should be surprised with Kevin. That's the other problem.
Yeah.
But he still should fucking know better. Right? He still should have known that this was the reaction he was going to get. And I even stuck up for him quite a bit after Jay and Silent Bob reboot, because there was everybody out there, oh, it's fucking woke, it's fucking woke, it's fucking... Like, no, actually, it's not. If you watch the movie, it makes fun of woke shit.
No, it does. It does absolutely make fun of woke shit.
And Kevin actually goes out of his way to make fun of himself. And not only does he go out of his way to make fun of himself, he makes fun of that persona that we always make fun of, that shill fucking persona he has. So it's not like he's 100%... We know he's aware of this shit. So that's another thing that's like another strike against his ass. It's like, you knew you were coming into a boys fucking product that you specifically said was made for us, right? This wasn't like the Star Wars thing. This isn't like Star Trek. This isn't like Doctor Who, in a sense, where they come out and said, oh, we're clearly making it for a different set of fans than the original fans. Or Star Wars is another example, obviously. But at this point, no, they flat out said this is for the fans. When you see the animation, you're going to love it. It's going to look just like
a love letter to the fans.
At least in Star Wars, the marketing, at least the marketing of Star Wars was about Rey.
Yeah.
give him that much. I mean, it's obviously
That's
we didn't
very
expect
true.
it to destroy Han and destroy Luke the way they did, but at least you had Rey in the trailer. Like it's He-Man, and that first trailer was terrific. It really, and there's no way you should believe that in the modern era, but it's like if you were to just take them at face value, you'd be like, yeah, that looks like it would be a really badass He-Man show, and it was not even slightly about him.
But the Star Wars prequel or the last trilogy would have been much better if it didn't have the legacy of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo. If they just did it like 100 years in the future, it would have been completely different than stepping on
100%. I'm talking
we had. Like Star Wars is
just using it as a
story.
But I'm just using it as a comparison from the marketing perspective. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying at least the Star Wars marketed as Rey is the lead.
And that's my point.
That wasn't a shock.
Right. Yeah, that was my point too, is because up until we got that trailer or whatever with Tila in that picture, we kind of had an idea, but at the same time, there was still that glimmer of hope, because anybody who knows anything about the franchise, there is a story to be told there for Tila that never has been told.
True. Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. True. And it's something that Kevin could have done.
Exactly.
He could have told they could have made it to where she became the successor
to the Sorceress. Yes,
well,
exactly.
That's what she's supposed to do, and what they could have done is had her become the Man-at-Arms and have that conflict. I have this duty and responsibility to Eternia, but she has a much bigger
fucking like that. I mean, it's like why did Duncan step down as
he shouldn't have? He should have been either killed or whatever. At this point, it would have been better.
Well, that's the great dichotomy of the story. That's the great dichotomy of the story. You've got two sides here. You've got He-Man, who's the warrior. He's the master. Well, he's one of the masters of the universe. He's not the only one. And she could have been the successor to the Sorceress and tried to heal the mystical rupture that's happened because of the battle between him and Skeletor.
Well, they kind of insinuate that's what could fix it, but then they just keep cock blocking the story to her. It's like, because Adam basically says you could fix this all. You have the power, and then just before he goes to tell her who she is, they have another cock block from Evil Lynn or whatever.
But she could have been the bestest ever. Absolutely. That's fine. I hit that.
That's the thing. But the things are all there. Yeah.
But she needs to have that partner. There has to be two sides, the yin and yang of the story. You've got the He-Man, you've got the prince, you've got that part of it, and the sword of power, and you've got also the sorceress, who's the mystical part of the universe that keeps the universe together. And without that togetherness between the two of them, you have that rupture which could cause the universe to end. And that's the story. You have the two sides of the coin. And if He-Man, you have the beginning of the story where he's gone. Yeah, okay, something happens between him and Skeletor, absolutely. And that Tila can come and try to heal that and find that, but you don't make her the pinnacle part of the story where He-Man doesn't matter by killing him twice.
Well, the other thing they could have done too is they could have had it where they could have sold it as we're going to tell Tila's story of what happens if you lose He-Man.
Right.
And they could have done it that way if they so desired.
Exactly.
But they didn't because
Kevin's already basically told this story in Dogma. Really?
He already did.
He had the last sign, which is basically what Tila is. She's this person who has this great burden that's over her head that she does not know about yet. And when she does, how is she going to react to that? That's the real question the fans have. We don't give a fuck. Then they totally made her make it all about her with the whole, when everybody dies and shit. That to me, that was where I was flipped off from that moment off anyway. Like the moment He-Man's dead, even though I knew he wasn't technically probably gone for good, obviously, but still, it was just the moment she turned it into everything about her. And it's like, even when she talks to him in fucking heaven and she's like, I'm fucking dead. And she's like, yeah, we all had to deal with that. It's like,
yeah, it's
do
like,
you hear yourself?
Yeah. She made it all about herself.
So I have some questions.
Typical SJW nonsense.
Exactly.
By the way.
Yeah. About my feelings, my truth, my bullshit, victimhood bullshit.
Victim. Well, my question is for you, Tom, is honestly, and I mean this with all due respect, like, what'd you really expect? Like, why did you think this wouldn't be exactly what it was?
Because
he's a Lions fan.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Lions fan, but no, I get what you're saying. No, I get you, Valiant. Like, no, it's more so like, look, like we were just saying, there is a story to be told for Tila, and if you just look at the description, any basic He-Man fan is going to go, yeah, it's a story of her learning.
Yeah,
she's
but
the
Tom,
sorceress.
come on, man. You are on the front lines of this culture war. You know what the enemy looks like. You know how they disguise their tactics. You're like in the CIA, and you're surprised Mossad like deceived you. It's like that's not. I mean, why?
No,
man?
I'm not surprised. I'm pissed. There's a big difference. You know, I mean, it's one thing when you have a friend who keeps telling you something.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Fucking comic book resources. Masters of the Universe Revelation is being review bombed by angry He-Man fans.
Yeah,
what do you do when you don't like something? You downvote it. Oh, but it's review bombing.
That's what I was talking about earlier, comics. That came out this morning. They're already started.
Why is any of this surprising to you guys?
It's not surprising. It just pisses me off.
That's where I'm at too.
Why?
It pisses me off because Kevin fucking flat out lied to us, and nobody's holding him accountable but us. Nobody.
Well, Tom,
but that's what we do.
I want to say something.
That's our purpose.
I want to say.
Well, the difference is
go ahead,
Ryan
Jed.
Johnson didn't fucking lie to us.
Hey guys, go ahead, Jed. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Jed.
sorry, Jed. You're quiet, buddy.
I'm dropping a bomb right here. Okay, and this is
that what that noise was?
I've held this in. Okay, back in '96, after Mallrats came out, I went to San Diego Comic-Con. Okay, it was like Mallrats had been out for I think a few months and everything else. Okay, so I got to go there. I had the best time of my life. Do you know who I met there? And he was one of my heroes because I loved Mallrats. I got to meet Kevin. And do you know how I got the name Toad? Like the Toad part in my name? Because when I first got on Twitter, it was just Jed Toad. Because everybody called me Jed. And Kevin and Q and them gave me that name. Okay? That was where I got the name Toad. Because they called me. Because I was happy to be around him. Kevin was not the guy he is today. He was like, fuck the authority, fuck all this. But I will say this, and I got to hang with him. I got to hang up with him for basically 2 or 3 years at San Diego Comic-Con. He was a good dude back then, back before he even married Jen. I remember when Harley was just a baby. I saw her when she was just a baby, okay? But here's the thing that pissed me off, and I remembered it back to this day. The thing was when that first year that I was hanging out with him down there, I brought up He-Man, and he goes, "Well, I've never had any love for He-Man." I was like, "That's cool, man, but He-Man was a huge part of my life. I loved He-Man." He goes, "I just never saw any place in this world for it, And I was just like, "Oh, you're really hurting." Like, yeah, so they were like, "Oh, never meet your heroes." Like. When I met Stan, and Stan was a good dude, to me, and gave me hugs, and I got to kick it with him. Stan was actually good to me. But then that's another thing, and I understand where Tom's coming from because Tom has had this thing like I have for years. I grew up, I had all the stuff. I had Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain, the Slime Pit, Fright Zone, Eternia, everything else. Okay, It frustrates me to no end to see how far he's fallen. Do you agree, Tom?
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm coming from. He just made Jay and Silent Bob reboot not that long ago. So
and here's my thing. I do like, dude. Kevin's although he hasn't talked to me for a few years, I used to talk to him all the time. It hurts me to see how far he's fallen from the fuck authority to, hey, let's be that.
But did you guys, and I mean this with all due respect, guys, but did you really believe Kevin Smith was going to transcend the Hollywood doctrine? He was going to change. He was going to change the authoritarian, like the way things are done now. You thought this fat man who was 10 years past his prime was going to beat the Hollywood system and give us what we actually want to be entertained by,
Matt.
And I don't mean this to be screwed. I'm just saying it's like this is the world. And all due respect, I'm just saying this is the world we live in now. This is what they make. Why are you guys surprised?
Yeah. And I'll repeat it. Oh, go.
No, VW, you go ahead, mate.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll repeat it. The Lions fan, Joe, it's like there's something about actually experiencing it There's something about actually seeing it and take it in. I don't think this is this isn't coming from a lack of knowledge, but an abundance of interest in these properties. Let's face it, they have our childhood and our adulthood and our entertainment and our art by the balls. And a lot of the time we can ignore. I've ignored some of the Marvel stuff, but I talked about the Batman 89 thing. When that fucking Flash comes out and they destroy Batman, that's gonna hurt. But I'm still going to watch it become so invested in the goddamn character that they got me, that I'm going to go see Michael Keaton get ruined. I know it's going to happen, but when it happens, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be furious.
Like, that's something that's like, I don't quite understand that, because it's like,
you're not a sports fan, are you?
I am a sports fan. I'm a Jets fan. It's stupid, but I'm
You're
a Jets
fan. So what are you asking this question for?
But I know that they suck.
But
you never get pissed at it still?
No, I've learned my lesson.
You're telling me when Mark Sanchez's face?
Hold on. I've learned my lesson. They're never gonna be good. Give up hope.
When Mark Sanchez went face to ass, you didn't get angry?
Of course I did. That was 10 years ago. It's not. It is. But now I have learned it's not going to happen. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no reason to believe this Masters of the Universe could have. There's no chance it was gonna be good. Zero, zip. It was the fact that you were leaving the door open for your own self. That's the mistake.
We're all human.
Well, here's the difference, though.
You guys know better.
Here's the difference. There's a difference between knowing it was going to be bad and intentionally going out of their way to basically say, fuck you to the fans they made it for.
That's all they do, though. That's what they do.
No, that's the whole point we were just saying.
Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who.
No. They went out and they flat out fucking told us they were going to destroy those things, right? They flat out told us that. Like, it was not even.
When was the last satisfying piece of content?
You even had Kathy Kennedy say, "We don't even want you as fans."
Tom, I want to hug you, man. It's like, dude, it's like you have to understand that this is what they're gonna do. This doesn't stop at, Kevin Smith or anybody.
So I'd like to paraphrase a voice from the past who knew a thing or two about authoritarians and what they do. Every franchise has been destroyed or falsified. Every story has been rewritten. Every character has been replaced, and every backstory has been altered. And that process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except the endless present in which the Hollywood party is always right.
Right.
That's what's happening to every franchise today.
That's exactly my point.
Famous English gentleman of the middle of the last century.
And Tom, I want to really make it clear, brother. I respect your passion. I'm not trying to shit on like your feelings about Kevin Smith or He-Man. Like I admire how much you still gave the chance to get invested. But my thing is like I just don't know Like to me, it's like maybe I'm just colder, but like once I saw The Force Awakens, I was like, I'm fucking out. I'm done. I'm not getting my heart broken anymore. Like I'm not going to continue to invest in this. And it's like it's like the pattern could not be more consistent that they want to destroy everything. And it's just to me, I look at it now, I'm like, why would you think? Of course it's good. That's exactly what it's going to be. You heard the leaks. You know about Tila. You know about like what Hollywood does. It's you should walk in expecting it to be woke, and when it isn't, then you should be like, oh, that actually was pretty fucking good. Like the Tomorrow War. Like, oh, that actually was stupid, but it didn't suck. Like that, I think, is the best case scenario with modern entertainment.
Well, Islington Girl is I agree with her. She's quite hopeful about doing it. I know some people are not, but I think it looks quite good. So we'll see. Maybe that might be good.
Maybe.
But be positive about something.
I want to stay on topic for
this. If I may, my only thing is one thing, and it kind of it's kind of the heart of, well, I feel like, Tom, it's the heart of your argument that I know and I accept these things, just as you have said, Matt, but this guy came out and lied.
He lied, yeah.
Yep.
And lied repeatedly and continued to lie. And the thing is that I fully accept them to misrepresent and to do disingenuous things. I don't accept, and I will not I will not quarter any of these assholes who come out and lie and give them the okay to go ahead and lie about it, because lying is part of the problem.
No,
lying is the core of the problem.
I'm not advocating it. I think underline it. I think highlight it, bold it. Tell Kevin Smith he's a fat piece of shit. You know what I mean? It's like you say some very mean things because of how upset you are. I'm not saying that it's right. It's wrong. Of course it's wrong. It's just
I know what you're saying, but I at the same time, it's how do you ask? How could we be so fooled so easily? Bring up the picture I just shared here.
Okay, this
is why, because the motherfucker put this in front of us. It is like the biggest cock tease in history.
Yeah.
You do this shit. They did it on fucking purpose. You even get something like this that looks fucking glorious. This is like right out of our fucking childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what they do, man.
But then, then we get the bomb dropped on us. Then we get fucking, the truth. And even then we're like, no, Kevin, you told us that this wasn't going to be the fucking case. And he's like, no. Trust me. This is going to be blah, 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 blah. And then we see the fucking show and it's this.
Well, I have to agree. Unfortunately, I have to agree because even the intro music, the very beginning.
Old art and shit.
Yeah, it's just the animation is great. Minus Tila being this butch SJW Karen.
Email stuff in that first opening. The stuff from the toys and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, are they really gonna
that opening was pretty good.
What the fuck do you have going on behind you?
Going on there?
I have no idea, but it's like a sex swing.
Swingers, literally swingers.
I guess that's for you and Bree, Matt.
Hey.
I also I have to note the tremendous passion
Vigilante
that's been seen all across YouTube in regards to how much hate is pointed at this show. It's unbelievable, and it's mostly from the fanatical fans who love this show, and it's obvious that it's a given that was going to happen. They must have known that. That's why Kevin Smith and his team were being so defensive, because they knew it was coming. So I think you guys are all right. I think Tom and Comics, everybody else here, Jed, they knew it was coming. And they did it on purpose, and which infuriates me, because why would you do something like that on purpose? Why would you piss off your main audience?
The answer to that's incredibly simple, Lord Thoth. It is because you are driven to do something. You're driven to do something from a misplaced sense of this is the right thing when it's not, because it's 100% ideologically driven. You're seeing this. This shit started to happen 100 years ago in another country, and we are the rinse repeat cycle of that crap. And if we don't stop it, we're going to be in the same position. I mean, every other warning sign is out there, and they're trying to do way too many things at once, which is making the system buck. They have no concept of what's going to happen when everybody punches the enough button all at once. And they're really close to doing that. And that's, I hit the enough button a long time ago. So right now I'm just biding my time. Yeah. Other people are just coming to that conclusion today. And it's one of those things. Like, look, I refuse to go through the Chinese Cultural Revolution bullshit. And there are 200 and something other million Americans that are going to be like, wait a minute, you're going to take away my entire way of life? No, thank you.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's going to happen before they're going to realize it after it's happened.
Yeah, not everyone. Yeah. Not everyone. Comics.
Not everyone.
We're here talking about this. There's a lot of people with a big goddamn arsenal
there's
who feel the same way.
There's a reason why I talk about the Great Reset on Unsafe Space. There's a reason why I talk about what's going on with ESG and how it's going to be applied to us as human beings. Because I want to make sure, I want people to wake up to the shit. I want people to see what's going on. I want us to say to these companies, no, we are not the Chinese. We are not communist. We are free people. And I can't believe there's more and more people that are buying into this whole thing of freedom is a lie. We got to tear down, the Western civilization and replace it with something better. Of course, we all know that's not going to be anything better. These people are fools, because what they're going to get is ultimately the oppression that they crave so fucking much.
That's right.
And many of them do crave it, I believe.
They do. They want to be. They want to be oppressed.
They want to be looked after by somebody.
Loki was right.
Told where to go and what to do.
No, yeah. I mean,
and wait a minute. We just did a flashback. We just did a flashback to like one of the last honest moments in the Marvel universe by you saying that from the Avengers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. That was one of the last honest moments in a Marvel film. It's like it's like. This is what we're trying to prevent is these types of people, right? You even had an old man, a German man, rise up in the crowd and say, there are always people like you.
Fucking A. That's what we were talking about earlier. It was like, when it was punk rock to be on the left, you stood up to the, to the right, because it's like, it's not about a side. It's about who's the authoritarian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's the one who wants
but
power?
Here's the weird thing. Okay, and I'm about to do some weird stuff. I'm going to say some stuff that is really odd. When
Weirder
was the
than
last
having a sex swing in your background?
No, well,
Oh,
I mean, no. That was just for your benefit, man. But honestly, it's when was the last time that the left wasn't the authoritarian?
Bush.
Was it?
Possibly.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
Which Bush? Okay, wait.
First Bush, maybe, but
maybe not the second Bush.
Yeah, because the second Bush got treated almost as bad as Trump did.
He was, but remember, culture was different back then. There wasn't the internet the way we have it. There wasn't that much profanity.
Dude,
was still.
I had a MySpace page while Bush was president.
What's that?
I had a MySpace page while Bush was president.
Yeah. I'm not saying the internet didn't exist. It didn't have the universal connectivity. Like, remember how
we had the internet, we didn't have social media.
We didn't have a lot of things. We didn't have YouTube.
Wait a minute.
We didn't have. No, but let me finish. Let me finish my point, because I'm actually not done. So it's like, because remember that profanity was a big issue for up until the internet. Like, up until the internet really took off, profanity was a big issue. You had to find these little niches where you could actually hear profane conversations. Like, it was still like the FCC would fine people really hard for saying the wrong words on the radio. It was a big deal. There was this still a censorship culture. Sex and pornography was still this little private dirty thing you could only get in these dirty little corners. We didn't have all the things that we have access to now. Times were significantly different, and the conservatives, they were the first cancelers, man.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question. What year did MTV launch?
82.
I was a kid, right?
81, 82.
Yeah, I was a kid too.
I was young. Okay, from that point forward, when MTV launched, the cat was out of the bag, man. And there wasn't as much reaction to stuff that was happening on a daily basis. And it all kind of forged from George Carlin in 1972 with the seven dirty words at that time, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Seven dirty words you can't see on television.
Yeah.
Thank you. I remember Mortal Kombat Backlash.
Yeah.
I remember that was
wait a minute.
Auto.
Yes.
But understand that a lot of that came from the Tipper Gore side of the left side of the aisle.
All right, but there was lots of people on the right who were all about it too. It's
Matt is right. I mean, you remember that guy Jack Thompson? He was the guy that was against the violence in video games, and
I remember.
He was right. He had limited play with D&D and rock music.
Limited play. The Satanic Panic had limited play.
It was the first cancellation.
Who was the first cancellation?
It was the first.
No, I think Jesus Christ was the first cancellation. Right?
Can I give you a non-American perspective?
First real cancellation.
America has always had a very puritanical culture.
Yeah, you're correct.
It has always had that, and it still has to this day. It's just it's been twisted into a different format now.
Yeah,
the canceling thing is just another extension of that. It's always
out of it. Well, the reason why there's a puritanical culture here is because it was founded by Puritans.
Yeah, and Gildo's right. It was the like Tipper Gore and all them that were going after gangster rap and shit.
Always had puritanical culture. So that's this is an extension of that. They're just
I'm just saying that the polls shifted, and that 70s rock fan, you know it because you and I saw it in music back then.
Yep.
The polls shifted. It went from being the right side that was freaking out about every fucking thing to the left side freaking
but
out.
to say that Tipper Gore was leading the thing about the hip hop, I'm not saying you're not wrong, but her sentiments were reflected by the conservative side of culture.
You would be surprised. You'd be surprised again. The migrations. Dude, I'm 1,000 years old. I'm
like 500 though. So like, you know what I mean? Here's the thing, and I need to not cut you off because I'm too drunk. Go ahead.
No, dude, no, please, VW. Dude, come on. Fucking you.
So I think we all have to remember when we didn't care about right and left. Like that, like the past 10 years have made us very intensely political.
We're dumb.
But like back in the 90s, we would have never. It would have just been the man, the system, the authoritarian.
It was.
Never really
system. That's right.
They just added white in front of the man. That's all.
Like
exactly.
It was like Clinton made like being a Democrat. Like Clinton made being a Democrat kind of cool, but even then, like you still had like SNL like parodying like the left and like going like it was an equal like clowns went after everybody. Like it was
and that was the thing. And 100%. And here's the thing. And Tom and I, this is where it falls. That was the beginning of it, Matt, is the Clinton administration, where you started to see the politics of division and the developments of the tribalism stuff that we're fighting with now. And that was actually a manifestation of something that a guy named Dick Morris, a political operative at the time, put into play in the political theater. And he regrets it to this day because he played it on the left side. Then he went and changed teams and played it on the right side. I'm on neither side. So it's this weird place to be, by the way. So,
but I mean, the idea that like the right is not a cancel culture type of thing is ridiculous. Like there were like the Catholic League. It's been like that.
But see, it's a different. This is the difference between that and what's happening now. There's no coming back.
What do you mean?
There's no path of redemption for anybody that's canceled now.
Depends.
He culture's for the most part right.
Well, it depends on what you mean.
Ezra Miller was allowed to choke a bitch. It depends on if you're.
Well, he never got get it.
But like, never canceled.
You're being non-personed now. You're unpersoned if you.
James Gunn, he got canceled.
What I mean, James Gunn bowed down to the idiots.
Yeah, dude. He knelt and he swallowed loads and loads and loads of cock.
But he's on the path to redemption.
Well, no, hang on. First off,
good point.
With fucking James Gunn. We could say he was canceled, but I said since day one, and I did a video about this thing, he will be back.
Oh yeah,
they're just waiting for the controversy to blow over, and the reason why is because he was canceled from the right, which it impacts them briefly, but the right does not own culture, so cancellation's not going to stick. Yes, there was some outrage. It went away. He got his stuff back. We all knew this was going to happen. At least
he's talented.
Unless you have an extraordinary.
Hold on, but Louis C.K. put out a special last year. Like,
okay,
I'm just saying
he's also
still fucking canceled, man. I mean,
I know, but it's like he's not without a source of income. Like he's not back in the club.
He's not.
He's not like how he used to be.
No, of course he's not.
No, he actually is. He's back like how he used to be.
No, I'm talking about as far as like popularity and.
But that's because that's the fucking club. Like you can't get back in the club once you've been kicked out. Right. Oh. That's the truth. But the club is the bullshit anyway. Who gives a fuck? Like it's like there's still ways to live. There's still ways to survive.
No, you're not just popular. I'm talking about like trying to find places where he could do his gigs at. But I mean, maybe that has changed now. But I know that he's been going back to just playing clubs.
But the cool thing,
and there's been protests when he first started. I don't know if they're still protesting him, but there was people trying to pull him out of the club. So
no, those 16 people have to go to a different place to protest their shit. Yeah. But it's just it's
moved on.
Yeah, it's like
really that sucks.
Yeah, and that's actually true. But look, I mean, it's not like in the days where Lenny Bruce was getting arrested for doing his thing, right? But Lenny Bruce was somebody.
By the way, that was by the right.
It was by the right.
That's irrelevant at this point, right? Okay,
that's why I point out.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Right. Look, okay, for the purpose of this discussion, it doesn't. But the point is, he was the guy that was punk rock, the guy that you and I respect, right? The guy that is like saying, you are doing the wrong thing. I'm going to call you out on it, and I'm going to do my thing, and you're going to have to make yourselves look bad by putting me in jail every single fucking night when I go up there and I do my bit, right? I mean, and that's the kind of point your finger at authority that we're going to have. We're going to have to maintain this for a very long damn period of time.
That's what I thought this shit was. The fuck was we doing for 3 hours?
Dude, I've been doing this for, forever. But I mean, it feels like it's only been like a year and a half. But it's just
what's the past year of my life been? It's been like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hours doing this shit. Of course,
VW, this is it, dude. This is it, and you're doing the right thing, and we all are. But it takes an entire army of humans. The issue is
no. This is only a part of it. We don't need to do the same thing. We don't need to keep doing this. We need to call it out.
Yeah.
Somebody, I think it was Comic, said it earlier, and this is the point that Eric July has made a million times. The left owns culture.
Yes.
Not Culture Casino. But how do you take it back? It's simple.
No.
You make good shit, and you don't push your agenda. If it happens subtly, cool. If people ask you, what do you think about certain things, and say, oh, you think this, but you have to make good pop culture. We'll never get anything out.
Culture's always delivered a message, guys. Always. It's a story. It's the mythos. It's the concepts of.
What do you mean by message, man? That's a great term.
Star Wars.
It's almost we could have a whole fucking stream on what it is.
No, mythos. But okay, so every single story has a heart to it, right? There's a reason for it. The raison d'etre. Okay, it's you have a beginning and an end and a growth period, but the entire thing can be a story about perseverance. That's a lesson. It can be
not a message.
It can be a story of loss.
I also appreciate that.
I agree with all that.
Raison d'etre. A little bit of French there to toss into the chat. For
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that you shouldn't get. You should get something out of a story.
Yeah, you have to.
To me, otherwise it's worthless.
It's why.
But that's not the same. But culture. That's not the same thing as setting out to write a story with. I'm gonna change people's.
Oh no. That's
that's not what we do.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Make good shit. If you make good shit and it's not woke, people will gravitate towards it.
But a good story, VW, requires growth. It requires a sense of well, I'm going to use a word that's going to sound odd. Transgression, but not really. I mean, not in those terms, but it requires the progression of of something. That's the whole point, right? You get from point A to point B. Yeah,
change and crossing boundaries.
And growth is the only word that I always come across. I mean,
that's good. Growth in the journey. It's the journey. Yeah. It's about growth and maturity and learning from your experiences, whether it's good and bad.
Or in a tragedy,
that's a good story.
Or in a tragedy, a lack thereof.
Yeah, exactly. It can be tragic or it can be positive.
But it's about the human, like it's about the human being, like facing like challenges and the change therein or the lack thereof, like that's
which is the human condition. That's what we
do
every day.
Yeah, but here's the thing: at the same time, telling those same stories, right, reinforces your own well-being, your self-worth, all of those other factors. Like for example, okay, so why were you pissed off because Luke Skywalker was destroyed?
I mean,
is that a rhetorical question?
How much time do you have? Yeah, like what do you mean?
We've already spent 3 hours.
It's this character who was the most optimistic and grounded person because of the course of his journey isn't going to fall to the depths that they were presented us without.
Because they assassinated his character. That's why.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And so that's why when Mark Hamill says, I don't understand this character.
And because his character,
because he played that
for
character.
Something. His character stood for something.
Yeah.
Well, just to answer your question, from my perspective, from my experience, considering my occupation, I've seen that happen. Yeah. Where you have the greatest person who goes through basic training, goes through, becomes a person who's a shining example of the greatest that society has to offer, and falls very far. It does happen, but that's not a story that we want to watch. That's not a story. That's a horror movie. That's not.
Maybe it is.
That's not a movie.
Cautionary tale.
But
tale is a story.
But when we're looking at him as being the hero of our generation, one of the heroes of our generation, we don't want that story to end that way. We want to stay positive. We want to think that there's hope in the future.
But even if they were to present that tragedy, right, the cautionary tale, as that 70s fan brings up, right, we would have to see it. And that's the problem with the storytelling that we were presented with Star Wars.
And we didn't see it. It was just like a cliff.
No.
Boom. Oh, what just happened? What did we just watch?
You're presented with nothing to support where that character ends.
Exactly. That's the problem.
And it happens all the time in this kind of storytelling where they just they ask for too many things. The big ask is the one thing you're asking the audience to accept. And
so that's not how story. I'm sorry, I did not mean to cut you off.
Please go ahead. No,
that's not how traditional storytelling is done.
No, that's how. That's not how any storytelling is done. But go ahead.
Because here's what story is doing. Like, we talked about it in Culture Crime Fires. I released the clip. How they're writing stories is set pieces and jokes.
Did you put that out? I was going to.
Yeah, I did put it out. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
That's okay.
I clipped it out.
I had the same vision.
So, okay, and I said this on the Culture Crime Fires, and maybe this is shocking. They were trying to make money on The Last Jedi. That's why they had Porbs. That's why they had jokes every 5 seconds. They don't understand how to write stories. Outside of wokeness, which is all an agenda, which is obviously a massive part of it, the way they write stories now, and I thought this when I watched The Mandalorian, when I watch a lot of stuff, when I watch every Marvel movie, it's set pieces and bullshit jokes, and then they just use whatever thin storylines to it, and they mangle everything because they don't care about anything, have no interest.
Stories, a collection of scenes.
But they really think the audience is fucking dumb. Like, they truly believe that.
Kevin, precisely.
I've heard them say it.
We were all dumb, and then he rips in the clownfish, and then he rips into all the fans at the end of that stupid thing that me and Tom
honestly,
the after thing. Ha ha ha!
He
killed Adam twice.
Dude, he genuinely believes. These people genuinely believe they'll slip it by you. And that you'll still enjoy it, and you'll be like, oh, it resembles physically the thing that I like, so I like it now. And then I'll be indoctrinated because my dumb middle American brain, who's not as enlightened as us up in Hollywood, will be tricked into having the right worldview. That's how they look at their consumer base.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yep.
All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I am far beyond faded, and I appreciate
hey, brother. Appreciate you being here, brother.
All right, man. I'll see you guys.
The first time that V-Dub left before me. That's pretty awesome.
It's late. I mean, come on. Matt decided to run a show for like 27 hours.
He's gone 7 hours before.
I've been on the longest show Matt ever did. We did a full 7 hours.
Yeah, it was like an EFAB show.
Yeah.
Dude, I was on a show like that.
Yeah,
I was on a show like that on Wes Moody's channel where it's like I when I started, it was bright outside, and when I finished, it was bright outside.
Jesus,
Matt was going. Hey, it's getting light here. We need to go.
All right, guys,
time to go to sleep.
Until
the sun's coming.
Subscribe to Vigilante Williamson if you have not.
Yeah,
I gotta go myself. I gotta crash out.
Comics Division. Comics is Division. I had a
Thank you, sir, for hanging.
Love you, brother.
You're welcome.
Comics, you're awesome, bro.
It was good chatting with
Love
you,
you, Comics.
Thanks, brother.
See you guys.
I'll see you next Thursday, brother.
Will do. Here's Judd.
Bye.
Bye,
All
guys.
right. So I'd like to. Red Shirt's back. Hey, Red Shirt's back.
Yeah,
all right.
Red shirt.
You know what? Red
Not
shirt might
just
even be able to
another red
contribute
shirt to me. It's the
So this
shirt.
is I've been noticing this phenomenon, this anomaly, this like
Phenomenon.
phenomenon. So I go back and watch movies that I remember. All right.
Yep.
Done.
Trying
Sorry,
to continue.
Sorry.
Trying to continue.
No, I just whatever. As long as you guys. I know. Okay. Ascension dildo
phenomenon, not just a bad
Matt
movie.
Matt has gone 7 hours before. I don't know if I can handle it. Vigilante 2021.
Wow, dude, was it the sandpaper condoms that he didn't like, or what was that about?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Ascension dildo. No, so I've noticed this thing. I go back and watch movies from like pre-woke, well before woke, and there were movies that were like. I thought they were pretty good, but then I rewatched it. I'm like, oh my god, that was incredible. I watched Crimson Tide last night.
Oh god, yes,
I love that movie.
I love that. Crimson Tide is awesome.
I love it.
Fucking good movie, right?
Yeah.
I remember liking that movie. Like, oh yeah, that was good. But now, like compared to the way
Are you a fan of the
soundtrack.
Mobius Silver Surfer or of the Kirby Silver Surfer?
Yeah, no,
Kirby.
yeah,
that is
yeah,
the
and then,
Tarantino bit. Yeah.
but okay, so I'll raise you. Oh, it just fell out of my head. It was really
Crimson
good.
Tide, and I
take this pot.
We're
Hunt for Red
talking
October.
Hunt for Red October, yeah.
One ping
U571.
only. One ping only.
There's
Just one
This is
ping.
not a discussion.
But there are 1,000 movies out there. Oh wait, a few good men, right? So
You can't handle the
you-
truth.
Yeah, exactly. Or oh god, what the hell is the name of the diving movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.? So you reach back and
the money.
well, no,
Not that one.
Men of Honor.
Men of Honor. Men of Honor. That's right.
Men of Honor.
The
Yeah.
Men of
So
Honor,
if you
yeah, sorry.
so you look at those films, A Few Good Men, Men of Honor. There's a handful of these films, and you go, my god, the story's amazing. The acting's incredible. I
You got a
mean,
hard on
there's
for the Navy
nothing.
culture.
But there's
The first
Yeah,
Under Siege
it's
was
true.
awesome.
but there's
admit
but
that.
well, I'm a scuba diver. But
Cuba Gooding Jr.
yeah, well, yeah. But you look at these films, right, and you go, we're not seeing this anymore. There's none of this exists in the world.
Where's the
Nope.
storytelling? Yeah.
No, it doesn't exist. Does not exist. Tom,
It's
you've
funny
been
you
quiet
would
for a
say
while.
just as a side note, it's funny you would say that when you use your examples as military movies where it's all about the code of honor, code of ethics, and strength of spirit for those men and in a rare case women in those movies. Yeah,
well, Lord
that have
Thoth, when you say men and women of the military, I think of down Periscope.
Yeah.
Or up Periscope.
Up Periscope.
Up your
Periscope.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good.
No,
That's a
but
good one.
Thoth, you bring up a great point because an inspiring military story doesn't jibe with the modern lexicon. It doesn't jibe with the new worldview. You're supposed to feel very bad about the military. You're supposed to have shame and guilt, and your service is in, I don't know, whatever. They're breaking down the pride and the honor that it is to serve.
Because they
What-
can't.
what
fucking
what
point,
film?
Thoth.
What film were they super pissed off that was recently released? A military film, 1917. Is that right?
Oh, were they pissed about that?
Dude, they didn't like it, and it was kicking that ass, right? And it was
I'll tell you what.
innovatively shot. It was
one of the-
pretty good story. I'm sorry, that thing is shot like it's one constant scene.
It's supposed to be genius, but I'll tell you what, one of the best military movies I ever seen in my life came out last year in The Outpost. I don't know if you happen to catch that.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Goddamned masterpiece. We talked about this a few weeks back with
where can I find it?
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't-
we did.
I'll get it.
remember
I'll
that.
figure out a way to.
We talked about it with Matt Mardigan, and it was like, and he served, and he was like, that was legit, and it was.
You're kidding. Mad Mardigan served. You're gonna tell me that he was on fire at one point.
That
in
was
time.
for the audience.
Orlando
to make.
Bloom. Orlando
Oh.
Bloom, right?
And then he was blown up by an
That's what I
IED.
heard.
It was for the audience's sake, culture.
It's Afghanistan War. Orlando Bloom's in that. For those out there,
yes,
fucking wake down.
or Orlando Bloom was in the Humvee that Matt Mardigan was blown up in.
No,
I want to officially say that Orlando Bloom is the gayest sounding name I've ever heard.
Yes, but
he's fucking
dude. He's gotten more tail. He's gotten more tail.
I'm sure he's straight as an arrow, but I'm just saying
more
Orlando Bloom sounds like a gay porn star. I'm just
I think that sentient dildo could probably come up with a better gayest sounding name.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's gonna put Matt Fowler. I know.
It's a challenge.
Like some kind of algae that you get on the sea. Orlando Bloom.
No, but
Matt,
how about hi? I'm Orlando Bloom. I'm an interior decorator.
Or I think Matt Felcher would be a more
Matt
appropriate.
Felcher's pretty bad.
That's my boyfriend Matt Felcher.
He's been with Katy Perry, Miranda fucking Kerr. That's pretty goddamn solid.
He did all right.
I'm trying to follow. I know he's probably got a deeper fucking lore than that.
Oh, his bench is deep, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, he's got a huge bench.
I never served in Afghanistan, but I know I have friends, close friends who have. They come back changed. They're never the same. I've had friends who have served 3 and 4 tours. They go over there, and it's a horror. It's a horror movie.
Shit.
And they never get out of it. It's always plays over and over again in their heads.
But it plays out in their daily life, man. I mean, it's like you talk to these guys, and they're always dealing with it, especially when they go into law enforcement, because that's the natural career path for a lot.
Really, I wouldn't have thought that, because that's what I did. I went from the military to law enforcement. That's actually a really big natural progression for those United States military personnel. They do tend to do that. It's just a natural progression because of the skill set that you learn from being in the military to going into law enforcement. Yeah, that's right. You go from doing what you did overseas to what you do at home, and it's pretty much you just walk out one door and walk in another. It's the same job almost.
Yep.
So I have a lot of respect. Hail to all our servicemen out there, veterans, whether they're law enforcement, whether they're military, serving past and present. Hail to all of you, because you're the ones who keep us safe at night, and so we can go to sleep and wake up the next morning free. The United States, Canada, many other countries in the world are free because of those men and women.
Yeah, no, you're right, Lord Thoth, and I was going to make a joke. I know you're being very serious, but I need to make a joke here. And that is, except in Canada now.
Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of law enforcement officers who stood up for free rights of Canadians in recent history. So,
I know you guys are awesome with that. And it's happening. So. Look, the sheriff in LA County's like, they want us to do what again?
Yeah, he's like, no, not happening. Much respect.
And I love that. But here's the thing: that guy's got to get elected again in like a year and a half. So he's like, no. It's like, this is illegal. I'm not doing more illegal shit because of this knucklehead that has good. He's got good hair in the front. Dude has a major league like toupee or something going on.
Didn't he get recalled? What happened with that?
They're working on that, but here's the problem. He just bought off Hollywood. He just bought off Hollywood to the tune of $300 million or some shit. So
he forgave everybody's thing too, but it's coming out of taxpayer thing too.
Yeah. He's not.
He just lost culture. The CIA got him.
He's not a good guy.
No.
Oh, it's culture ASMR.
LA County elections are coming in November 2022.
Yep.
Thanks to Thomas Bowman. All right.
Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, I thought it was like a year and a half away. I'm like,
if I still lived in that cesspool, I'd vote. But
I was like I said. I mean, that dude's got to get reelected.
That
He's
doesn't stop people, Matt. You can vote all over the place.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. What's stopping you?
Did you see the last election, Matt?
Being alive is not even a barrier.
No. Yeah. Look, and interestingly enough, Tom would be able to speak freely on like when we started to lose stories in films. But
which time?
He probably now, like most recently.
Well, shit, that's been going on now for the last 20 years. But I mean, Well, these things go into like 20-year cycles, and unfortunately, this new fabricated trend is keeping all that shit down, because normally we'd be in the midst of a new independent revolution again. And I mean, the world is set for it. We've got YouTube, we've got streaming, we've got all these things that are set for this, but the gatekeepers in Hollywood are making sure this shit don't happen. But once in a while, good stuff does rise up.
Yeah, nobody.
There, but
nobody.
Well, there's things, not just nobody, but even things like Fat Man and a couple other ones that are really good.
I quite enjoyed Pig.
Oh yeah, the
Gentleman
Pig
was the other day.
Pig is one that looks like it'd be interesting. Yeah,
I mean it's an unusual story, but Nicolas Cage is brilliant in it. Yeah.
Pig.
I know someone here in Austin who saw Pig and adored it. Thought it was absolutely
good.
genius.
Yeah.
He's
great in it.
I like good films, and actually, Cage is one of the guys out there going, "Yeah, Hollywood's pretty fucked right now.
Yeah.
So eat a bag of dicks."
Oh, did you see what dude? Yeah, Mel Gibson is gonna do?
No.
Oh, he's making a movie about the Red Shields.
Oh yeah,
the Red
Gibson's
Shields
going in hard.
The Rothschilds.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna love this man.
They're gonna
You're gonna love it. He's gonna get assassinated.
Yeah.
So,
He's trying to get. They're trying to cancel him already before he's.
Wait. I am. I need to do this. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Actually, that 70s rock fan should do it because I can't.
Yeah.
Aussie accent. It's true.
Oh, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
All right.
If it's not Scottish, it's crap.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
I tried to do a Scottish accent to a colleague.
Can't do a
from
fake
Glasgow.
accent.
It'll be fine. If it's not Scottish, it's crap.
If it's not Scottish, it's crap.
I tried to do a Scottish accent to a colleague from Glasgow, and his response was, "Don't quit your day job."
The only Glaswegian phrase I know is "I'm going to bump your ma."
I'm gonna bump your ma.
Don't be added, my son.
I'm not going to ask you how you know that.
Oh my goodness!
Essential Dillo's doing the meme. This is fine.
Okay, so here's the weird thing. We've reached the tipping point for when I'm supposed to be in bed.
All right.
I was supposed to be in bed 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah, but see, there's this.
Some of us might be in bed already. Culture.
There's this lovely young lady that I like to keep on good terms with, and
well, I was thinking
beer was a meal.
We could call it a night. We can wrap it up.
No, you guys can stay here and
no.
Go to bed too.
Oh my God! I'm going to be here for the end.
If you go, this is the end.
I think I might officially be the oldest one here. I think I even outrank you, Redshirt.
No, we can call it a night. I'm down.
Carry on my wayward son.
And now the end is near.
Wow.
I feel like I should be stabbing vampires or something. Isn't that the supernatural?
No, this was great. We can wrap it up here. I had a long day. I had to work in the morning. I've been up for hours. Yeah, so I'm ready to call it a night. And
even 6 a.m. Eastern.
Thomas Baldwin said he's getting too drunk to hang longer.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Matt wants to go to his Brie body pillow.
I want to go fantasize about my fat. Nothing as flat, but love.
I have one last question to ask,
brother.
I have one last question to ask before we roll out.
Okay.
Who's going to Vegas?
Me, baby.
I am.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, I know, right?
You bastards.
I can't afford it.
Soon.
Yeah.
Tom, you're not going to Vegas?
Well, Tom, if you're not going, if you're not going, Tom,
kick it with me and 70.
And
we're going to do a long live stream, Tom, just to make
Yeah,
up.
we're going to do a live stream. All the losers that had to stay back.
Oh, that sucks, man. I'm not going to see it.
Loser stream.
Tom, we should do a GoFundMe stream for you to get you to Vegas.
I don't want to. Yeah,
when Matt gets drunk, make sure that you
I really want to go
of him so that I can turn them into memes.
That's right. Tom can't take the ankle monitor off. That's the problem. So.
Everyone else from FNT's going.
I know.
Come on.
I'm a broke motherfucker.
What do you think I am? A fucking millionaire?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm no Culture Casino.
Culture's library could contain everybody.
They're also like 2 states away.
I noticed the wake down showed the annex.
Probably make it walking there.
It's not. It's pretty far, man.
What I show?
The wake down
Fucking
showed
Thomas
the
wanted
annex
to
to
drive.
Culture's library earlier. Just the
Yeah, I
annex.
was thinking about driving, but
I've got actual footage of
That's
Culture's
the annex to the
right
library.
here.
That's
Come
not the
on.
library, it's just the annex.
Tom. Come on, baby. Go to Vegas. Come on, spend
Tom,
the money.
don't go. Stream with
It's
us.
a business expense.
Yeah,
Just write it off.
Stream me and 70s for the losers.
Stream with
No
us.
peer pressure
Stream
at all.
with us.
I
One
wanna-
of
it's
us.
not like I
look,
wouldn't if I could. It's like I just don't have the money.
Here's the
One
weird
of
thing.
us.
Here's the weird
One
thing. No
of
matter
us.
what, we're going to be streaming with everybody, no matter where we are, all the time. It's going to be.
Cool.
This will be live stream a palooza.
Yes, it will be. It's gonna be so
what'd
much.
Cool is if you guys, and I said this, Matt, if you would do an MFer while you guys are there, and you could actually
pretty
have
easy.
us on with you.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea what's going on. I know Gary's got like things. I don't know if there's going to be a live FNT. So I'm definitely, if that's the case, I'm going to be there.
I think there's a
live
plan
FNT.
too. Yeah.
Right. So I'll have to do that maybe afterwards. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's probably going to be after parties and shit. I don't know. I'll do a stream. I have no idea what I'm planning, but I mean, I'm going there to just jump into the whole thing, because the last time I went, when it was COVID and it was just like me, Nick, and Jake, and Man of War, it was still like one of the best times I've ever had. So I'm going there to just jump
Be
in.
prepared.
Man.
Be prepared. It's gonna. I will guarantee you.
It's
it
gonna
will
get
be
worse.
Ridiculous.
I can't wait. Tom, you have
I-
to come, man.
I really
don't
want
put
to.
don't
Alright.
put that
You
much
don't wanna-
pressure
I
on
want
it.
to
don't
go
wanna
too,
You're the-
Matt, but I can't afford
You're the
it
only
myself.
one he wants besides Bree.
I know, I was just-
Tom.
That's right, Draco. He's begging you to go, Tom, not us. He's begging you.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm offended.
I have.
There's a lot
I have.
me and 70s to go.
I'm offended. I'm
I'm-
canceling you. You're cancelled.
You're
you're canceled,
Canadian. Yeah, the Canadian
That's
folks,
not-
unfortunately,
yeah.
they're not allowed to come down here anymore.
I can't help that. It's not my
Yeah.
fault.
I'm
It
pretty
is
sure
challenging.
someone was shadowing me when I went to the bar earlier. Some shady-looking guy from Canadian intelligence.
So, did he look like an Egyptian god?
He had a red outfit on with a big smoky bear hat. So it was
Oh
Was he
my!
riding a moose?
And he
was
said,
Oh
from
my.
behind as well.
What are you
Oh,
doing there?
that's not okay. I feel like
I think
that's a
I know
Super
someone who
Troopers
fits that
reference. Matt.
description.
It was.
I'm going to bed. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Let's
F
do
you
it.
guys.
Let's do
Let's
it.
wrap it up. This was fucking awesome. Thank you guys so much for fucking hanging out. Sent you dildo. Fucking as much as he pretends he hates
times.
us, he was hanging out the whole time. Mr. Dragon. I don't know you, sir, but thank you for joining us today. Dexy Doodle, Soul Assassin, Stay at Home Podcast, JM Cruz, the Islington Girl, as always, love you, dear. Finite San Antonio, Thomas Bowman, everyone who got to hang out with us today and fucking stuck around. This was great. I had a blast.
Islington
Mention
girl.
the Islington girl.
Yeah.
Gotta mention her.
Islington girls.
You notice it was the Canadians that were shouting her out, eh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, I
She's
shout her
marvelous.
out all the time.
Hey,
Look,
you
the
Girl,
Islington
shout out from a
girls.
Jersey boy.
The Islington girl supports everybody.
She's a peach.
She's awesome.
I love her so very much.
Amazing.
Does anyone have anything to plug? Anything that's like coming up that they're
Brie Larson. Oh wait, that's you.
All right, we'll just go then.
Let's just go.
We'll plug another time.
Worse than Gary.
Clobbering times tomorrow night. Star Trek. See you there.
Oh, there you
good.
go.
Yeah.
See, way to go. All right.
Oh, I'm
Sunday
doing a
stream.
video game stream tomorrow morning ish.
There you go.
Isn't that Soul Death?
Oh
free
yeah,
or something?
it's watch culture die and suffer. That's
It's
what
Culture
funny.
Casino.
Watch me rip on culture.
Going down to the
whole
edge.
Culture
time.
Casino die another day. Is what it's called.
Oh,
I have,
I have
On
two
Wednesday,
things
the Wakedown is doing a watch and discussion on Chernobyl, HBO's Chernobyl.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
episode
That's
four.
right.
That was really good. Oh my
For
god.
next week. Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then tomorrow night at 11 is Down to the Edge, where we'll be talking Blade Runner.
There you go.
Oh,
to plug.
cool.
And if you guys want to come over on Monday and Tuesday, we do a Monday and Tuesday thing over there too.
Booyah, Kasha.
Wait a
You
minute.
can always.
Jed?
Wait a minute. Isn't he asleep?
Yeah, I know.
What?
I know, right?
Suspicious.
I know,
I'm gonna-
right? No, Vigilante Williamson.
Too cool to hang out with us.
Also, though, to Vigilante Williamson, you can always catch me and him every Wednesday, Culture Crime Fighters, 5:15 to 7:15, roughly, every Wednesday, Central Time. We're also on Spotify and iTunes, so check us out there if you don't want to bother with YouTube. And that's going to do it for the Cocktail Lounge this Friday night. Thank you guys so much. You're wonderful people, and all you panelists are the best. Love you all. See you next week.
Who the fuck's got a mouth harp?
I don't know.
It's 5 o'clock.